And here come the Leopards into the matchup, legendary Prichard Stadium, and here come the home crowd Vigor Wolves. Everyone's just fired up. I tell you, it's great to see this community out here. On the Vigor Wolves side, though, in the defensive secondary, it's going to be led by the all-purpose player himself, Mr. Charles Crawford. Crawford comes in. He's going to be lined up at receiver, safety. He's going to be the leader in the secondary, a high-powered defense for the Vigor Wolves. Derek Scott, his second year at the helm, but Charles Crawford, what you love about him is the fact that he is a very intelligent player in the secondary, able to almost be the quarterback of the defense, direct his unit. As we take a look at some highlights from last year, a very electric punt returner is Crawford. He was named the top defensive back in the Mobile area for 2015, and they're going to need him to play at that level tonight.
Yeah, as we take a look here, more highlights from last year's game as Vigor was able to pick off a pass from Kadarius Toney. They're going to need a lot of that from the secondary tonight because Kadarius Toney is one heck of a ball player. They have to do everything they can, Tim, to get as many possessions away from him as possible, and the best way to do that is by, one, getting the ball turned over, two, by running sustained drives up and down the field on offense.
Well, the quarterback situation for the Vigor Wolves is going to be a familiar face. Last year, Cam Williams started in this game as a junior, but was moved to wide receiver later on into the season. Back at the quarterback spot his senior year, and they're going to be relying heavily on him in order to get the job done tonight against a very senior-laden Leopards defense.
Absolutely. This game you can hear. Now, we're not that close to the band right now, but it sounds like we're right on top of them. So if you are not familiar with this rivalry or either one of these programs, neither one of these bands is going to get cheated tonight, Tim, when it comes to playing music. So get ready. Buckle on your chin strap, Tim. We're about to play some football.
Edwin Alvarado Amaya, the junior kicker for the Blount Leopards, ready to tee this one up at the 40-yard line. Two Vigor Wolves back at the 10 to receive. And this crowd's just waiting in anticipation. Fans have been gathering all day here at Prichard Stadium, tailgating. It's been a full-day party for this community. It's great to see.
There's not a whole lot that we can say that's going to add to the intensity that's already in this stadium from the rivalry. If you're watching this football game on television right now, just look at the pictures. They're going to tell you everything you need to know.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2016 is underway, and it's going to start
with a flag.
With a flag. Now what you want to see. Now what you want to see.
It looks like one of the Leopards was offsides, Tim, on that kickoff. So that's going to move the kickoff back a few yards, and that's going to surrender about 5 yards of field position to the Vigor Wolves.
Offside on the white, re-kick.
Tim, back to receive this opening kickoff for the Vigor Wolves. Looks like it's going to be Charles Crawford, and also, and I cannot see the player's number. Okay, I just caught a glimpse of it, Tim. It's James Jackson. James Jackson set to receive along with Charles Crawford, back around about their own 13-yard line.
Alvarado Amaya back now with a 35. And we are underway. As Jackson's going to touch it, it's a live ball at the 20. He's got to pick it up, dishes it out to Crawford, who's going to try to bring it up the field. And a nice recovery after a quick little move right there. A live ball on the play, and Jackson was just trying to make something happen there.
Yeah, Cameron Bell was able to bring down the kickoff returner down around about the 20-yard line, maybe the 21-yard line, as we take a quick look at the offense for Vigor.
Williams back at quarterback. Smith is going to be a tall receiver along with Crawford. The offensive line, a lot of size. Skipwith and Packer, the veterans of that unit. Jones and Tillman round out the offensive line. The Vigor Wolves start off, two receivers out to the right. Williams and Whitsett in the backfield. Williams on first down is going to go deep. He's got double coverage, and Smith had almost a connection. He rolled over. He's trying to say that he got it.
Well, they're celebrating as if they gave him a catch, Tim, but They're bringing that ball all the way back to the original line of scrimmage. As we take a look here, Kadarius Toney, nice job of protection by the offensive line, throws into triple coverage. I'm sorry, that's Cam Williams, throws into triple coverage. As you can see, the ball clearly hits the turf. Triple coverage. I'm surprised he was able to get his hands on the ball, Tim. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 again. Cam Williams in the backfield. I'm so excited about seeing Kadarius Toney that I put him into the backfield for the Vigor Wolves. And before we can move on to the next play, Tim, there's going to be an illegal substitution penalty called on the Vigor Wolves.
That's going to back them up.
Play 2nd down.
Let's take a look at the Leopards' defense. A lot of seniors on this unit for Lev Holly. Right up front, we know about Donadio Madison making a name for himself last year as the top defensive lineman in the Mobile area. At the linebacker position, Brian Wilson, Darrell Scott, Keelan Kennedy transfers in from Davidson. Zawan Poe, a highly recruited player for the Leopards. And in the secondary, Cortland Williams transferring over from LaFleur, Jacoby Davis, Marcus Wiggins. Big-time playmakers in the secondary as Smith does make the reception this time on 2nd down. He's going to get some penalty yards back. A gain of about 6 yards, and it's going to set up a 3rd and about, 6.
Nice job by Zawan Poe, Tim, to make that stop over here on the near side after about a 4-yard gain on 2nd down for the Vigor Wolves. So it's going to bring up about 3rd and 6 now for the offense. Zawan Poe, you're going to hear his name quite a bit tonight from that linebacker position for the Blount Leopards.
Crawford and Smith out to the right. Going to be a handoff on 3rd down and 6. Oh, and going to get stuffed on that play. Going to be just shy of that 1st down marker right around the 41.
That was Jachristopher McCants, one of the DBs. He's 5'9", 170 pounds, able to come in, tackle the running back. He tackled him forward on 3rd down, Tim. So after that tackle, he was still able to pick up maybe an additional yard on the carry. It's not going to be enough for a 1st down. He's about a yard shy. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 1 now for the Vigor Wolves. As we take a look here, almost perfect weather right here right now, Tim. 83 was the big number. That's 74% humidity right now. These guys need a break from this tough conditions that we've had here in Mobile County here lately.
Horn with a skyrocketing punt is going to take a Leopard roll, and Vigor's going to down him inside the 30 as the Leopard offensive unit takes over. And here comes the Florida commitment, Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty much the man of the hour tonight as the Matty T. Blount Leopards offense comes onto the field. Let's face it, the entire offense goes through this young man. Now, there are going to be some plays where he's going to throw the football, but don't be surprised if there are some called run plays for Kadarius Toney. He's just that electric, Tim, when he gets the football. He's awesome.
Well, we saw a high-powered unit last year. They're replacing 3 seniors. Reggie Todd playing for Mississippi State right now. Toney comes out, hands off to Pugh. Pugh's going to test the right side and go nowhere. That Vigor defensive front was there.
Yeah, just not a lot over there on the right side. It got clamped down by Ronnie Packer. Actually, he's listed as an offensive lineman, but he also plays defense.
Brown and Pugh at the running back position. Collins Woods looking to make a name for himself tonight with LeBaron Jones. You know about Toney, the Florida commitment, offensive line, a lot of size up front. Brandon Martin, about 300 pounds at the guard position. As he's going to shrug off one of his own linemen, takes a second level hit and brought down by Horn over near the 34-yard line.
That was a nice job by the running back to bounce that run outside the tackles that time, Tim. He wanted to run it between the tackles. The defensive end came crashing in, really overcommitted on sealing the edge. Running back able to get to the outside, Tim. Picked up about 4 yards on the 2nd down.
Toney comes out, hands off to Brown. This time he's going to fight his way forward, and that's going to be real close to that 1st down marker. Vigor defense coming up with another stop here as we take a look. Vincent Fair, the leader of that defensive front, along with Traylon Knowles at the linebacker position. Marshall Harris converts over to linebacker. And in the secondary, Charles Crawford, Eric Phillips, Earl Scott, Julius Horn, a dangerous combo in that secondary as Brown fought his way forward, and they're going to have to measure this one.
Jamarcus Lewis made the stop, but he's going to pick up enough for a 1st down, so that's going to move the yardsticks. 10 yards downfield now for the Blount Leopards as we continue to tick down here in the 1st quarter. Got a little bit of problem with the clock. We can't really tell you how much time is left in the first quarter.
Another handoff to Brown, and another result of the Vigor Wolves all over him on first down.
So far, not a single pass or run being called right now for Kadarius Toney at the quarterback position. Right now, they're going with a jumbo package on the line, Tim. They've been running 2 tight end sets, everybody up on the line of scrimmage, 1 lead block for the running back, and they're just playing smash mouth football. Now, what that's going to do is that's going to bait the defense in. That's going to pull the safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, Tim. And what you can do there is you can take a shot over the top. Right now, a single safety is playing high. Well, actually, they have 1 single safety for Vigor that's playing, but he's playing really, really shallow, as I believe we're going to get a timeout called here.
Oh, flag comes out on the field.
Oh, it's a flag. Okay, I'm sorry.
They were running some receivers off. It seemed like everyone wanted to be in that package. There was about 5 receivers on the field out of the shotgun. Someone got a little too excited out there.
Yeah, it's going to be an illegal substitution call on the Blount Leopards, so that moves them back 5 yards. Puts the ball at the 32-yard line currently of the Blount Leopards. And once we resume play, it's going to be second down. And it's going to be second down, Tim, and I believe about 18 to go for the Leopards.
It's going to be stopped once again. The referee's going to talk this one over. It is second and long upcoming for the Blount Leopards. Working out of the shotgun formation, and they're clapping away as if it's going to go in their favor.
Now we have an offsides penalty being called against the Vigor Wolves. So that advances the ball 5 yards upfield, now to the 37-yard line. Now, you know, in high school, even if they don't snap the ball, if a player lines up in the neutral zone, Tim, that's an automatic offsides penalty.
Another handoff to Brown, another short gain on second down. Setting up about 3rd and 10 upcoming for the Leopards from the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Jamarcus Lewis was your tackler there, Tim. He's about 6'1", 285 pounds on that defensive line for the Vigor Wolves, who are currently, looks like they're running, I want to say they're running looks like they're running a 3-4 defense right now.
Toss out to Jones on the outside on the bubble screen. Bumps off of one of his own receivers, evades a tackle, and brought down shy of that first down marker.
And that's what's important, because if he was able to break that tackle, that was going to be a sure first down for the Blount Leopards. He's going to be tackled about 2 yards short of a first down, and the tackle was made over on the far side, Tim. I believe that was Earl Scott for the Vigor Wolves, but that's not going to get the Blount Leopard offense off the field.
Tony's going to take it himself, try to go right up the middle, and they're going to blow this play dead.
I want to see if there was a timeout that might have been called prior to the snap of that football, because if that play was going to take place, it was going to be short of the first down, and we got a timeout. Vigor took a timeout prior to the snap of the football, Tim.
A scoreless first quarter here at Prichard Stadium. The Blount Leopards looking to go for 4th down once again. Back-to-back trips, Howard. And what you've seen, what's been interesting, is they haven't really attempted a lot of passes. They're trying to test the ground game early on, going to McCants and Pugh early on both drives.
Yeah, and that's kind of surprising. I thought they would come out early and try to showcase the talents of Kadarius Toney, but I do understand why. As an offense, you do want to try to run as balanced of an attack as you possibly can. You want these guys to have to defend both the pass and the run. If you come out and start running and gunning with Kadarius Toney, then that makes what the defense has to do on defense one-sided, so they're able to defend you a little bit better. So right now, they kind of have the Vigor Wolves defensive staff on their heels right now. They're not really sure if Kadarius Toney is going to hand it off, or heck, Tim, is he going to keep it and run?
Well, you don't want to show too much too early in this game, but what we have seen is from a consistent standpoint, it looked like they were going to go to Toney right there on that run, but 4th and short once again. You're trying to build momentum here early on in this matchup, and defensively, the Vigor Wolves are looking quite sound.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're looking pretty good on defense up front. We've seen so far. We've seen Jamarcus Lewis be very active in that defensive in the defensive trenches so far early on. As we take a look at the coaching staffs, as they continue to let their players know what they want them to do when they go out there on defense on this next down. But did Blount tip their hand just a little bit on that 4th down play that was whistled dead because of the timeout taken by Vigor? will Kadarius Toney keep the football? If that's the case, then you put a package out there, Tim, that's going to fill all the gaps to make sure you keep him contained and keep him away from that first down marker, which looks to be about 1.5 yards shy right now.
All right, we're going to head down to the field with an update from Dirty Dan and 93 BLX.
Wow, it's your main man, Dirty Dan, broadcasting live for the Battle of Prichard. It's all about Blount and Vigor right now, man. And right now, I got attorney Jay Laura with me from Alexander Shanoria and Associates. Hey, Jay, y'all doing some big things with the flood from Louisiana, right?
Yeah, most definitely. It's a serious situation. We want to help as much as we can.
Okay. Hey, make sure you stop by here right now while we're here live. Bring any type of toiletries, detergents, all types of stuff, right, Jay?
Yeah, pretty much the necessities, feminine products, diapers, things like that. They need everything, but we want to get them what they need first.
Okay, it's going down right now at the Battle PA. Dirty Dan along with Jay Laura. We're doing it right here. Battle PA. Ooh-wah!
You gotta love it, man. We're in Prichard, Alabama, man. To me, this is the best place to be tonight because, to me, we've got two of the best teams on the field right now.
Absolutely. The Blood Leopards coming out here on 4th and short, right around midfield. Spreading out to about 4 receivers. Cameron Bros, the big senior tight end, lining up in the slot, 6'2", 180. You see Collins Woods at the bottom of your screen, 6'3", 185. Lev Holly talked about a lot taller and a lot stronger in this Blount Leopards unit this year.
Now, it looks like on defense, there's a little bit of confusion for the Vigor Wolves. They're looking over to the sidelines. I'm not really sure what it is that what signal they're trying to get from the coaches. I'm thinking in that long timeout, they should have gotten everything as scores start to come in from around the area.
We're going to keep you updated with scores from around the Mobile area and high school football action tonight. Scoreless for Chickasaw, BC Rain, Baker, Saraland. Last night, we have a tie ball game between Davidson and Daphne at 7 apiece in the first quarter. MGM on the road against UMS Wright tonight. LaFleur picking up a victory at Lad People Stadium against the Williamson Lions. Toney comes out on 4th down. A connection to Burrows, and that's going to be enough for a first down as the Leopards cross midfield.
Yeah, he needed about 1.5 yards. He was able to pick up 3. So that pushes the ball over into plus territory now for the Blount Leopards. And so far, a very methodical, sustained drive right now being put together by Kadarius Toney as he connects with the wide receiver.
Toney's going to take himself right up the middle and is met immediately. Julius Horn coming up and stuffing the run on that one, but not till Toney picks up about 4 yards on the play. Whoa, they're going to give him 5 all the way up to the 45-yard line. 2nd and 5 upcoming for the Leopards.
Yeah, if they'd have given 5, Tim, they probably gave him 5.5 on that run.
Toney out of the shotgun formation, looking to his left, looking right. Lobs it up there, single coverage on the outside and over his receiver's head, out of bounds. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
That was Eric Feltz Jr. out there on coverage way downfield that time. Ball was just clearly overthrown to Marcus Wiggins, who was the intended receiver for Kadarius Toney. Now, I'm watching Kadarius Toney in the backfield, Tim, when he gets ready to throw the football. One of the things they're going to work on with him at the next level is going to be his footwork. He's not really striding into his throws. He's just throwing strictly on arm strength, trusting his arm talent. So once he gets to the next level, they're going to play with him, and they're going to work with him with that footwork.
3rd and 5. Toney comes out with the strike, makes a connection for a first down to Jones, and he's going to wrestle his way forward all the way inside the 30-yard line. About a 15-yard gain on the strike.
Yeah, nice timing pattern. Run there by the wide receiver on the far side. That's going to move the yardsticks. That's going to push the ball deeper into Vigor Wolf territory. Ball sits now at the 29-yard line. First down, Leopards.
Fresh set it down as Blount is making their first trip to the red zone tonight inside the 30-yard line. 3 receivers set to the right. Toney looking that way. Looks back over to Jones. Single coverage on the outside and over his head once again. Horn in the area on coverage.
Yeah, actually, I thought Horn was almost in a position to commit pass interference, but instead he just ran interference for the wide receiver over there. LeBaron Jones, I believe, was the intended receiver on the far side. LeBaron Jones was the intended receiver, so nice job to just run interference and mess up the pattern as we're going to get a timeout, Tim. This is the Heat-related timeout, I believe. Yes, this is going to be the Heat-related timeout that's taken at the 6-minute mark of every quarter. So 6 minutes remaining here, Tim, still 0-0 here at Prichard Stadium.
We're scoreless here in the first quarter action. You're watching the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week.
Hello, I'm Helena Tyler. I would like to invite you to join me for Inside Education. Come with us as we take a look at what's happening around Mobile County Public Schools, as well as what's happening in your child's classroom. That's Inside Education, right here on the MCPSS TV network.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain, Al Whedon bringing you tonight's matchup live here on Seymour between the Blount Leopards and the Vigor Wolves. If the Blount Leopards come out, a quick strike to Burrows from Tony, and that's going to be about a 5-yard gain on second down. The Leopards driving here towards the Wolves' red zone.
Yeah, Charles Crawford came up and stuck his nose in and got the wide receiver down. Third down and about 5 here, Tim. Decision time. Can Tony get him a first down?
2-down territory. Tony takes the snap, a low one. He's going to roll out to his left, finds the receiver over the middle. Oh, and right through the hands of his receiver.
Wow.
And a defender. I tell you, Howard, those are the kind of plays that put you on the bottom of the list on who to go to homecoming with.
Yes, boy, I tell you the truth.
It was in his hands.
Yes, and Earl Scott had it. He had an opportunity to turn the ball over, and that was something we talked about in the pregame. How do you keep a player like Kadarius Toney from making such a huge impact on the ball game? Turn him over, and it went right through Earl Scott's hands. A surefire interception.
Tony coming out in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Looking over the right side, makes a connection with his tight end Burrows. Gets up the field, a first down inside the 20-yard line and pushed out of bounds at the 15.
Yeah, Vigor's going to have to do a better job, Tim, of staying disciplined in their tackling lanes. Right now, they're overrunning Burrows on almost every single catch. Gather yourself and drive into the receiver and make the catch. As we take another look here, Kadarius Toney looks right, finds his receiver. Now right here, just undisciplined in your tackling. You have to stay sound as he's finally ridden out of bounds, Tim, right around about the 10-yard line.
1st and 10, right around the 10. Give it to Pugh and right up the middle and into the end zone. And a flag is out on the Vigor sideline around the 10.
Yeah, that's going to be a pre-snap penalty. I heard that whistle prior to the play going off, so that's going to nullify the 10-yard run into the end zone for the Blount Leopards, and the penalty is going to go against Blount. I believe it was offsides or illegal procedure. I wasn't really sure. Here's the indication. So the indication is offsides on the Blount Leopards. It's going to back them up 5 yards, push the ball out to about the 15.5 or 16-yard line, Tim, and it's going to be first down and 15. They can pick up a first down without getting into the end zone.
Cameron Burrows has been the favorite target of Kadarius Toney on this drive. The senior tight end, 6'2", 180, lined up on the left now in trips. Oh, and a drop ball on the ground, and there's a scuffle for it, and Vigor says they have it.
Yeah, that's Vigor football, Tim. Just a miscue right there on the handoff as Marshall Harris is able to dart in, turn the football over for the Vigor Wolves, Tim. Deep in their own territory. Huge play on defense by the Vigor Wolves.
Marshall Harris converting over to linebacker in the offseason. Derek Scott spoke very highly of Harris coming in. The senior just able to get right up on the ball. A little miscommunication in the backfield for the Leopards, and Harris just jumps on it.
And instantly, the Vigor Wolves sideline has come alive, Tim.
Well, the stands are starting to pack out now. Fans just wall to wall here at Prichard Stadium as Cameron Williams comes out of the shotgun formation. Two receiver set. Williams is going to take it himself. Has to get out of trouble. He's just going to go down. That's going to be about a 3-yard loss on the play as the Leopards hit him in the backfield, but a flag comes out in the secondary.
Yeah, deep in the Blount Leopards secondary. I'm not really sure what that's going to be. I didn't see anybody move up front. I didn't see anybody jump into the neutral zone. It actually came from the back judge, who was almost about 30 yards away from the play as he discussed it now with the head referee. And we're going to get a call here just a second. It was Christopher McCants, Tim, that was able to come in and get Cam Williams down with no gain on the play. But let's see what the call is.
Ball, personal foul.
Personal foul on Vigor on that play.
Now, I'm not really sure if that happened. Okay, it had to have happened during the play, or maybe it could have happened after the play. It could have been a post-play penalty. If it is, they're going to mark it off from the spot of where Cam Williams was brought down. So this is going to push the ball deep.
Dead ball, personal foul, White. Second down.
Well, it seems like he just called that penalty on Blount.
Yeah, he did say White. As we take a look at our officials tonight, our referee is Tim Dees, Lawrence Hogues, Anthony Garrett, Eddie Carr, Carl Gray, Lonnie Eaton, and Jimmy Kane round out the officials for tonight's ball game.
Second and very long, about 20 yards for the Vigor Wolves as Dale, the running back, is in the backfield with Williams. And he's going to get the carry right there, and he's going to get swallowed up immediately by a pack of Leopard defenders.
Yeah, he actually had 2 guys in on that stop for the Blount Leopards. Looked like a jailbreak up front. But guess what, Tim? I look down on the field. There is another flag right around the line of scrimmage.
It's the first.
Against the White team.
Now this time it's going to be another personal foul penalty. Now he pointed to the White team, which is Blount. But in the
Dead ball, personal foul on the White. 15-yard penalty after the play. Third down.
Okay, so it was a post-play penalty. So the the run did count. They mark it off from the spot of the foul. That pushes it up to about the 24-yard line, Tim, as we take a look at the coach. Timmy sweating like I am, okay?
I think everyone's a little confused on who got penalized on those last 2
Yeah,
ones.
Both of the penalties were on White.
They moved the ball up the field, so that's a good thing, right?
That's a good thing. That is a good thing. So now the ball sits on the 24-yard line of the Vigor Wolves. Third down and about, looks like a long 6, Tim, for the Wolves.
Shotgun formation. Williams has 5 receiving targets behind that big offensive line. He's going to take it himself right up the middle, but going to be stopped by that defensive front of the Leopards. Coming in to try to make a stop there, and Adrian Law, the big senior defensive lineman, 6'2", 255, coming down on you, Howard.
Yeah, and that's a good job of playing discipline right there in the trenches, Tim. He didn't allow himself to get out of position to make the tackle. Once the ball carrier, Cam Williams, came by, he just simply slid off of his block, fell into the rushing lane, grabbed Cam Williams about 2 yards shy of a first down. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 2 now for the Vigor Wolves as they prepare to punt the ball away to the Leopards.
Well, what we've learned so far here in the first quarter, Vigor likes to punt. Blount likes to go for it. Horn over here with another great punt. It's going to take a roll all the way down to about the 30-yard line. Pick up, it's a live ball. Blunt's taking it and going to be brought down. Ooh, took a shot. Who else but Marshall Harris coming up with another big hit, and there goes another flag.
Yeah, that was James Jackson who picked that ball up, Tim, and tried to surge it upfield. But it came in awfully late. Somebody's going to get slapped with a personal foul penalty as we take a look here. There's James Jackson, slips down.
Ooh.
And I'm not really sure if something was said once he got up. But as soon as he stood up, the flag came out. So somebody might have had some choice words for another player that the referee just did not like, and we're going to get the call here.
Dead ball, personal foul on the green team. First down.
And I'm not really sure if maybe somebody might have kicked someone or hit someone we just couldn't see from this vantage point. Or, again, there are certain words that you cannot say when you're on the field. If the officials hear it, the flag is going to come out, and that costs the Vigor Wolves 15 yards of field position. New line of scrimmage now, the 46-yard line of Blount.
Fresh set of downs here at the 45. Tony takes the snap, hands off to Pugh. Going to test the left side. Whoa, getting hawked down and evades the tackle. And going to fight his way forward for more yards, getting closer to that first down marker. But guess what, Howard?
Woo.
Another flag. This time it's over on the Blount sidelines.
Man, Charles Crawford is so fast. He's number 4 for the Vigor Wolves. He did not make that stop, but Tim, you and I both saw him get shot out of a cannon to come in and try to make that stop, missed the tackle, and a couple of his teammates were able to finish off the run. But like you said, it's going to be nullified. It's going to probably be brought back on a penalty here by the Blount Leopards. Again, it was dropped on the far side, which is the sideline where the Blount Leopards are. So somebody may have lined up in the neutral zone. If that's the case, the play should have been whistled dead immediately, but we're going to get an official call here in just a moment.
How about some of the size of these running backs here tonight? Trey Pugh, 5'9", 175 over on the Vigor side.
We have an illegal formation. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
6 men, that's a nice offensive line. Over on the Vigor side at running back Tadarian Dale, the junior, 6 foot, 210 pounds, just punishing. First and long now, about 15 yards backed up to around the 41-yard line. Tony and Pugh in the backfield. On their last drive, Cameron Burrows, the senior tight end, was a top target for Tony as he's trying to get his offensive unit together.
Yep. Play clock is getting low.
Going to hand off to Pugh, and he's going to scatter around. Whoa! Woo, what a shot! Coming up to make that hit was Earl Scott, the junior.
Wow.
5'10", about 160, and he just came up and gave it to him.
You talk about a punishing blow. Now, we're going to look at it here on the replay. Now, you see it, but we heard it.
Woo.
That was a punishing blow levied by Earl Scott over here on the left side of the formation, Tim. Will that make the running back think about that the next time he crosses the line of scrimmage? My gosh.
Excuse me, Earl Scott, 5'10", 180. Nonetheless, his junior laying the hammer on that play. Trey Pugh, he's going to think about testing that side.
Yes, sir. Wow.
Illegal formation. 6 men in the backfield against the white team. It's a 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
Formation trouble for the Blount Leopards tonight.
Now, that's kind of interesting because prior to the snap, and this is just me, prior to the snap, I did count how many guys were off the line of scrimmage. I only counted 4. Now, maybe from our vantage point, maybe guys aren't quite lining up all across the offensive line. If those offensive linemen are too far behind the center, they're considered in the backfield, Tim, and they have to be on the line of scrimmage.
Tony out of the pistol formation, tosses out to Pugh, trying the other side this time, and he's going to get met immediately on the play. Coming up to make the hit for the Vigor Wolves, Jamarcus Pope-Malden. Excuse me.
I think that was Michael Petway.
Michael Petway.
Yeah,
sorry.
Mike. Yeah, that's
Sorry.
okay.
I got that.
Hey, we're here to help. We're here to help each other.
Oh,
right?
man, there we
You got
go.
that?
There we go.
Michael Petway was able to come up and make that stop that time. You know what is so interesting to me so far, Tim? Kadarius Toney's been quiet. He has really been quiet from that wide receiver
haven't unleashed
position.
him yet.
No, not yet, not yet. I'm not sure if they're trying to lull the defense to sleep or what, but he has been very, very quiet as he drops back here.
Tony drops back. Overthrown, and it's going to be intercepted on the play. Picked off in the secondary. Whoa, and taking a shot was Tony coming up to stop. Eric Feltz coming up with a huge play for the Vigor Wolves.
Tim, this is the formula, again, that we talked about in the pregame as we take a look here. Kadarius Toney, again, footwork does not allow him to stride into that throw to get it over the defense. Nice job by Eric Feltz of just sitting down and waiting for the pass to come in, but even better job by Kadarius Toney to come up and snuff out that return. But Kadarius Toney isn't stepping into his passes, Tim. Therefore, he's not able to drive on them and give them the proper height and depth to get them to his wide receivers.
Vigor working with its best field position of the night. Ball way over the head of Cameron Williams, and he just got a fall on it. That's going to be a huge loss on the play.
You know, in the box score, that's going to look bad because that's going to count against their total yards at the end of the night. But what it's going to do for them, Tim, as we take a look here, it was just a bad snap, just plain and simple. Nice job by Cam Williams to cover it up. But what's more important, Tim, he was able to keep possession for his football team, okay? If they had turned that ball over, momentum goes right back to the Blount Leopards. Kadarius Toney is back on the field, and the defense is back out there on a somewhat humid night here in Prichard, Alabama.
Second and very long after that loss on first down. Williams tosses out to his intended target on the play and incomplete. Going to bring up a third and long as Williams was over there looking for Jackson on the play.
Yeah, but Taurus Russell Jr. was breathing down his neck. He could not step into that pass and deliver an accurate pass out into the left flat to his wide receiver, who was wide open, by the way. But nice job, nice pressure there by the defense right up the middle. If you want to pressure a quarterback, pressure him in his face. You'll always affect his pass.
Williams lining up 3 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Dale, the running back in the backfield. Williams just going to launch this one. Single coverage on the outside and unable to make the completion. He had his man.
Yeah, he was looking for Nigel Schamberger as scores start to come in from around the area again.
Baker on top of Saraland, 7-3. As we take a look at Williams right here, showing off the arm and just trying to lead his receiver on the play, and just wasn't able to make a connection.
Yeah, I thought right at the last minute, I thought Kelsey Hill might have interfered with the wide receiver, but no flag was dropped. It's going to bring up third down. I'm sorry, that was third down and long. This is a punting situation now for the Vigor Wolves.
Horn back to kick this one. McCants back to receive for the Leopards all the way back at the 10-yard line. Horn's been very impressive punting tonight. This will be his third one. Comes out another high kick, and that's going to take a Vigor bounce, and they're going to down him right around that 15-yard line.
Yeah, that's a good job there of flipping field position back in favor of the Vigor Wolves as the Blount Leopards prepare to bring their offense back out on the field. Now, the Vigor Wolves weren't able to do anything with that turnover. That's okay. Ultimately, you would have loved to have been able to put some points on the board from that turnover, but you did do something just as important. You kept the ball away from Kadarius Toney, and you were able to pin them deep in their own territory, so this next drive will start at their 15-yard line. So good things happening right now for the Vigor Wolves here at Prichard Stadium.
Last drive ended with an interception. Eric Feltz, the junior, coming up and making a huge play. This Vigor defensive unit has been very impressive already tonight as they're in the backfield. Toney able to get away. A flag comes out in the backfield as he slips at the 25-yard line.
Okay, and the call is going to be holding against the Blount Leopards. So
there was a defender right in the backfield. It almost looked like he could have got him with the shoelace tackle.
Now it was actually Kadarius Toney, and it looked like a defender in the backfield, and the defender went down and the flag came out. Now, I'm not really sure who committed the holding infraction unless it happened near the line of scrimmage, because our eyes were actually in the offensive backfield.
Holding on the offense. Half the distance to the goal, replay first down.
That's going to back him up big time.
So, Tim, that's going to push the football inside the 5-yard line for the Blount Leopards, Tim, and that's going to bring up first. Let's send it down to the field with an update from Al Wheaton. Al, how are you doing down there?
Oh, man, it's pretty humid down here, Tim, but you know what? It's definitely hot on the field. I had a chance to talk to Vigor coach Derek Scott, and he said his guys need to play fundamentally sound defense, get turnovers, and also be physical on offense. Now, they've gotten 2 turnovers tonight. On the opposite side, Coach Lev Holly for Blount told me he wanted to have no turnovers and have his guys play smart. Well, you've seen the opposite there. 2 turnovers, a fumble, and interception. And you know what? A lot of these penalties, first game jitters possibly for the Leopards tonight.
It's only the first game, Al. They gotta get used to just getting back out there.
Yeah. You know, get you one of those little fans that has like the little water bottle attached to it.
The mister?
Yeah, man. Just mist yourself down there, Al. Come on, buddy. Stop complaining.
Second down, Toney after a physical run. Whoa! Intercepted again, this time coming from Scott, and he's got a free rein on the right side. No flags on the field. Whoa, they're going to wave this down. They're waving it down. They're going to call him down. They're going to give him the interception, but they're going to say that Scott was down around the 22-yard line. The second interception here for the Vigor defense as we take a look right here. Toney looked like another play-action fake, and Scott just took advantage of it.
Now, hopefully we'll get a chance to look at that replay again because they were saying that he went down. Now, if he was able to get his hand down and not his knee, then he could pick that. He could keep going. But the officials did call him down at the 22-yard line, and that's going to mark the end of the first quarter here, Tim, at Prichard Stadium.
I tell you, we talked a lot about this highly dangerous Vigor Wolves secondary, but with Charles Crawford But Eric Phelps and Earl Scott, 2 interceptions already in this game. We've got a scoreless first quarter here from Prichard Stadium with Blount and Vigor. You're watching the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week.
I started off at Fondy Elementary, then I went to Azalea Middle School, and then Davidson High School for my high school years. The Mobile County Public School system prepared me for my career by showing me why it was so important to give back. I am involved with the Big Brother Big Sister program, and I've been paired with a young boy that was in the 3rd grade and is now finishing up the 4th grade, and it gives me an opportunity to give back and help mentor him.
The class of 2015 earned over $97 million in scholarships, and the class of 2016 is already on its way, graduating students who are college and career ready. It starts with us.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week live here on Seymour. The Battle of Prichard between the Vigor Wolves and the Blount Leopards. And I tell you, Howard McCain, a lot of penalties, but a lot of defensive plays. The Vigor Wolves secondary, golly, 2 interceptions already on the night.
They need to capitalize on these turnovers, Tim. They've done exactly what they need to do on defense. They've kept Kadarius Toney guessing. They've kept him down on the field, and they've kept him turning the football over. Defensively, Vigor is doing exactly what you have to do against a dynamic playmaker. Now it's up to the offense to get the ball into the end zone. We thought Earl Scott got a 22-yard interception return for a touchdown. Unfortunately, it's knee touchdown, and Vigor starts their next drive at the 22-yard line of the Blount Leopards.
Fresh set of downs, first trip in the red zone for the Wolves. Pressure from the outside. Williams is going to scramble away. He's got defenders chasing him. He's going to be ripped down from behind after about a 2 to 3 yard gain on the play. Just a pile up down there. They didn't want to let him go.
Yeah, just a good job of pressure off the right side of the formation for the Blount Leopards. Forced Cam Williams up into the pocket. He took his eyes off of everything downfield. After that, he could only tuck it and run, Tim. Was successful on that play of picking up about 3 yards. So it's going to be 2nd down and 7 coming up now for the Wolf offense.
Williams already showing off his arm strength tonight, but deep into the red zone now. They're going to be looking to try to make something happen on the ground game. Dale in the backfield at running back. They got a man in motion. It's going to be an end around to the right side. Gets away from one defender. Whoa, and meets another wall. And it looked like that was going to be from the linebacker position. Darrell Scott, the senior, coming up and laying the hit on that one.
Yes, he did. That was an awesome job by the defensive end to, first of all, force the ball carrier inside. As we take a look here, right here, forces the ball carrier back inside where defensive help can come and finish off the play. Darrell Scott able to put his helmet right in the numbers of the running back, brought him down after about a 1 yard gain. So it's going to be 3rd down and about 5 here for the Wolves.
It's got to be about 2 down territory right here, and they're going to blow this play dead. They tried to go back to Dale with the ground game. And this one's coming back.
Yeah, that's a pre-snap penalty, so somebody on the offensive line may have moved, or it could be a formation penalty. But we're gonna get an indication here from our referee coming up shortly.
Dead ball. Neutral zone infraction against the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Okay, I thought that penalty may have been enough for a 1st down, Tim. So it turns a 3rd and 6 into about a 3rd and 1 now. Very manageable for the offense. I'm pretty sure they'll run something really, really safe and try to pick up the 1st down, Tim, and get a fresh set of downs.
When you got a running back that's 210 pounds, I think you know what's coming on 3rd and short.
Yeah, give it to your beef. Give it to the meat truck, Tim.
Schamberger and Crawford out to the left side. Smith on the top of your screen. Dale and Williams in the backfield, and it's going to go right to Dale. This time to the left side. Whoa, he slips.
Oh, wow.
Donadio Madison got a hand on him, and that was enough to get the junior running back to slip on the play.
Yeah, Tim. On that play, if you're the running back, if you only have 1 yard to go to pick up the 1st, do not run parallel to the line of scrimmage. square your shoulders and just put your foot in the ground and just cut up field. And he tried to turn it into a stretch play, lost his footing, lost 2 yards, and now it's going to be 4th down and 3 decision time now for the Vigor Wolves. And they're going to take their time figuring out what they're going to do on 4th down.
Well, Julius Horn's doing a great job at punting. Not sure if he's going to be the field goal unit kicker, but it looks like both teams are going to talk it over here on 4th and short. There's the first trip for the Vigor Wolves into the red zone, looking to capitalize off of their second interception on the night.
Okay. For a second there, nobody had signaled that they were taking a timeout. Both teams ran to the sidelines. The referee was looking at both benches. Who's taking a timeout? So finally, Blount takes a timeout.
We're going to take a look at last year's standings and what a year the 2015 was, especially for the Mobile area. We take a look right here at 5A Region 1. Jackson, St. Paul's, Vigor, and Williamson. We saw the Lions in action last night. St. Paul's, the eventual champions in the state, one of the 3 teams from the Mobile area to win state titles, along with 7A McGill and 6A Spanish Fort. Jackson, St. Paul's, and Vigor looking to be that unit this year, but the race for 4th place is going to be an interesting one. BC Rain moving up to 6A, Citronelle moving down to 5A, so the race for 4th place is anyone's game at this point.
And you look at those standings, at the top of those standings, Jackson, 13-1 last season, Tim, one of the teams nobody's talking about this year.
Well, they're not in the Mobile area.
Well, yeah, but still, they're in the region. They're in the region.
Looking at 6A Region 1, Spanish Fort just dominating. These Blount Leopards had a phenomenal season, finishing in 2nd. Saraland Spartans losing to the Baker Hornets. Last we checked, 7-3 in first half action. Daphne, the Kenny King era, begins tonight against Davidson. They're tied against the Warriors 7-all right now. Baldwin County, an interesting team that could move up into that top 4. LaFleur getting their first victory of the season last night over the Williamson Lions 20-14. As Williams comes out, he's going to run out to the right side, has a block from Dale, gets up the middle of the field and dives his way forward. A flag comes out on the play.
Gosh, are you serious?
And Cameron Williams is just celebrating. What a run by the senior quarterback, but we've got to see what happened. And it's going to be a holding call, and this Vigor crowd is just sick.
And that's going to nullify a 16-yard run into the end zone by Cam Williams. The flag was dropped on the far side, so it happened out of our view. But tough run by Cam Williams. But even tougher, it's going to come back, Tim, and another 10 yards is going to be tacked onto it.
On the defense. Penalties 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay 4th down.
Okay, now he said holding on the defense. We know that wasn't the case. It was actually holding on the offense. It's a spot foul. Looks like it took place somewhere between the 10 and the 15. Marking back 10 yards, Tim, is going to be put down on the 20, and that's going to be fourth and long still for the Wolves.
Williams rolling out to his right. Whoa, pressure in his face, and he's just going to get eaten up in the backfield, and the Leopards come up with a sack.
Yeah, that was Juan Poe that came in and put the pressure on Cam Williams, and after that, it was Christopher McCants that came in and finished it off, Tim. As we take a look here, look at this. Whoop!
Just jumping right over him on the play. Donadio Madison coming in to finish off Williams after just a pile of defenders were just in his face, and Williams just had to go down. He didn't have a choice.
I'm sorry, that was Christopher McCants that put the pressure on Cam Williams, but it was Juan Poe that came in and finished off the 4th down play. So the ball goes over on downs to the Blount Leopards. They start 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Still scoreless here in the first half. Second quarter action is going to be a handoff on the play. Josh Brown, the senior running back, just powering his way up the middle, and is going to get a gain of about 4 yards on the play, it looks like.
Now, one thing to somewhat consider, you know what, let's take a look at the 7A standings from last season.
McGill-Tulin having an incredible season last year, all the way to a state championship. The Murphy Panthers, one of the highly favored teams in 7A Region 1 this year, as Marshall Harris just comes out and lays a punishing shot on Tony from behind. That's going to bring up a 3rd and about 6, but the Theodore Bobcats rode the heels of LaMichael Pirine to the playoffs. Fairhope Pirates, an interesting unit. Baker missing by just 1 game last year. Danny Smith's team is on top of the Saraland Spartans right now.
Tim, we're going to have a horse collar penalty that's going to be called. Now, he pointed towards Blount. Now, that's kind of strange because Blount is on offense.
Dead ball. Failure to wear required equipment on the offense. 3 down.
That is Tim, I've watched a lot of football. I have watched a ton of football.
That's an interesting one.
I have never heard that penalty called before, a failure to wear the proper equipment. Now, what that proper equipment could be, I don't know. I don't know if somebody didn't have a chin strap buckled or.
Exposure of the shoulder pads, maybe?
I don't know.
That's an interesting one.
Boy, I'd love to get some clarity on that.
3rd and 11. Tony drops back to pass. Pressure in his face. A strike across the middle to Burrows, and that's going to be enough for a first down. Senior to senior. Burrows has just been the most reliable target for the Leopards tonight. He's making quite the name for himself.
Charles Crawford makes the tackle, but nice job by Burrows, who's been quiet much of the latter part of the first quarter, but was really doing a lot of things at the beginning of the football game, able to find a soft spot right in the middle of the Vigor Wolf zone and was able to pick up a nerf for a first down.
Fresh set of downs from the 40-yard line. Tony takes a snap, looks over to his left. A low throw is going to get swatted down, and Eric Feltz was right there to break it up.
Yeah, that was going to go nowhere. So really, in all honesty, it's really good for the offense that pass was not complete because it was going to go for about a 3-yard loss for the Leopards. Ball falls incomplete. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for Kadarius Toney and the Blount Leopard offense.
This Vigor Wolves defense has been highly aggressive here in the first half. Tony pump fake, looking over to his left, trying to look for Jones on the play, and it's going to get swatted away, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Leopards.
Yeah, it looks like Jarrett Mosley was able to get his hands into the passing lane and tip that ball away, Tim.
Baker on top of Saraland 7-6 in second quarter action right now. Theodore on top of Northridge 7-0 in the second quarter as scores coming in. Davidson takes a 14-7 lead over Daphne in the second quarter. Cephas Johnson leading that unit. Mary G. Montgomery on top of UMS Wright 7-0 right now. Brian Seymour's Viking unit as the ball is just on the ground. Tony picks it up. He's got to scramble out to his right. Defender's in his face. Whoa, and he's going to almost get suplexed on the play as we've got a player down for the Vigor Wolves.
Yeah, that's a couple of players getting hurt by friendly fire right there. Both were converging on Kadarius Toney, and they simply hit each other. But it was Desmond Little that finally finished off Kadarius Toney on that 3rd down run. So once play resumes, it's going to be about 4th down and 2 as we take a look here. Kadarius Toney bobbled snap there, still keeps his eyes downfield like a good quarterback does after nothing is there, tucks it, runs. Guys start to come in, hit each other as they try to converge on Kadarius Toney, and that's how the injury happened. But thankfully, all players are up off the turf, back onto the sidelines under their own power, and that's always a good sign.
Another 4th and short for the Blount Leopards tonight. They have yet to attempt a punt as Brown and Toney come out in the backfield. This big offensive line for Lev Holly's offensive unit. Lining up, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Toney takes the snap, looks over to the left, looking for Burrows, and right off his hand, and that's going to be a turnover. The Vigor Wolves will take over, but a flag out on the field on the Vigor sideline.
What? Now, is that going to be a sideline warning, or? I think it's going to be a sideline warning on the Vigor Wolves. What that means, if you're not familiar with that, is the officials need to be able to run up and down the sideline, Tim. If guys are too close to the field, they actually keep the referee from being able to get into position to be able to make the proper calls. When they do that, they'll drop a flag on the sidelines, warning the guys to back up from the sideline so the official can work. If that happens again, that will be a yardage penalty against the Vigor Wolves. So right now, there's just 1 on the sideline, and that's pretty much what a sideline warning is for the benches.
Most teams have a get-back coach. They got a get-back coach down there.
Yeah, but see, on those other levels, they pay that guy.
Move back.
Yeah, they pay that guy.
Move back.
They pay a guy to do just that, to grab guys by their pads or by their shorts.
By their proper equipment?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Grab them by the proper equipment and pull them off the sideline. I love it.
I still gotta understand that one. Whoa, another high snap over Williams' head. He's just got to fall on this one, and that's going to take him all the way back inside the 30-yard line. It's going to set up a 2nd and long.
Yeah, that's about a 24-yard loss on that errant snap, and that's the second one we've seen tonight on the center quarterback exchange. Sometimes your center He's so preoccupied with who he has to get blocks on once the ball is snapped that they don't pay attention to where they're snapping the football, and their nerves get the best of them, and that thing just goes flying. But nice job by Cam Williams, the quarterback, to get back there, get on top of the football, and keep possession for his football team.
Well, when you got Adrian Law and Donatio Madison in your face, that'd scare me too. Hand off to Dale. He's going to power his way forward, and Scott's going to wrestle him down after he gains a nice gain of about 6 yards.
Taurus Russell Jr. is your defender that comes up and makes the stop, Tim. Modest gain on second down, Tim. It's still going to be third down and about, let's see here, 10, 15, 20, about 25 to go here on third down. So if they have any plans of going for this on fourth down, you want to try to cut this yard to go at least in half. If you have any chance of going for this thing on fourth down, I say, hey, take a shot downfield. What could it hurt?
4 receivers spread, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Another running play. Oh, and Dale fumbles it behind him, gets it. Oh, no, it's back into play, and Law's on top of it, and that's going to be a turnover.
That surprises me. That play call surprises me. Now, to me, what was going on, they wanted to run something safe, Tim, and they just wanted to punt. But I'm saying, just take a shot downfield. You haven't done it all night. Go ahead and take one, as it looks like the ball was so close to going out of bounds, but took one last hop back in bounds. Blount was able to pounce on it and get possession right at the 25-yard line of the Vigor Wolves.
It's interesting. Dale's body went out of bounds, but the ball stayed in
bounds. That's
and
weird.
Adrian Law sniffed that one out and got one back for this Leopards defense.
Tim, if you have on all the equipment, the proper equipment, and you're running after a wet football. Now, remember, some rain did fall in this area earlier today, so that will make the football slippery and that much more difficult to be able to get on top of.
Tony with a huge strike across the middle to who else but Cameron Burrows, the tight end, coming up with a big 20-yard gain for this offensive unit, and they are at the 5-yard line and in the red zone once again.
Good-looking football player from that tight end position, Tim. Silky smooth when he comes out of the off the line of scrimmage, and able to just has a knack for finding soft spots in the defense.
Tony taking himself, has a blocker in Brown, and he's going to get into the end zone, but guess what? A flag.
Wow.
2 flags. 3 flags. Not 1, not 2,
now,
but 3.
One of them is going to be holding. The other 2 is probably going to be a personal foul penalty. So they're going to huddle together, and it's a possibility all of these flags are going to count or going to go against the Blount Leopards.
I'll tell you, LeBron James would be proud right now. Not 1, not 2,
but 3.
But 3.
Now, there was a hold right there behind the play, and I'm not really sure what happened here. I don't know if guys started talking or somebody took a shot at somebody's face mask, but
talking in a rivalry game? Does that happen?
No, never.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm just making sure.
No,
just making sure.
Here we go. On the offense.
On the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Down.
Okay.
Well, that's going to back him up. It's going to take away a little bit from that Cameron Burrows gain. Still in the red zone. And backing him up to about the 14-yard line.
And it nullifies a 6-yard touchdown run by Kadarius Toney. So, wow. So both teams now, Tim, having points taken off the board because of penalties. Remember, Cam Williams was able to get into the end zone on a 16-yard run earlier in the football game, and now Kadarius Toney's 6-yard touchdown run comes off the board as we get a timeout.
The Leopards are going to talk this one over after the penalty. Still scoreless here in first half action between the Vigor Wolves and the Blount Leopards. I tell you, it's been quite a defensive battle, and the referees over there, penalty after penalty. It's just been a tough night for both units.
You know, and we saw, and if you were at the football game last night between Williamson and LaFleur, you saw the same thing. A lot of penalties, Tim. Game was very disjointed. Guys just weren't able to get into a rhythm. And the thing that most people want to say, well, that's just first game jitters. And you think, well, man, most of these guys have been playing football for years. Why are they still nervous on opening night? Trust me, if you're 16, 17 years old on opening night of a football game, you're nervous, okay? You're going to grab guys. You're going to hold guys. You're going to do things that later on in the season, you're going to be a little bit more fundamentally sound. So early on in this ball game, a lot of penalty flags so far, Tim. A lot of turnovers so far. So as the game, I believe, goes into the second half, you're going to see guys settle down, and you're going to see better execution coming out of the locker room.
But Howard, is not just any game.
No, it's a rivalry
This is
game.
Vigor Blount.
Yeah, it's big.
This is the game.
It is big.
This is the rivalry that you were born into. You were decided that you're going to wear that uniform from birth.
This game determines what color the fire hydrants in this town get painted. Okay?
You got to love the tradition. I just love seeing all these fans out here for this game.
This is beautiful.
It's a spectacle.
This
it
is
really
beautiful.
is.
This is beautiful. If you're not here, you are missing out on a treat. To see this community united for these 3 hours in this football stadium. There are no incidents. I'm looking around. There are no accidents. I don't see anybody, I see people just a lot of camaraderie here in the stadium. It just looks so, so good. I absolutely love it.
The Leopards coming out after that penalty, coming out of the timeout. Cameron Bros lining up closer to the offensive line. 3 receivers spread out, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. It's going to be a delayed handoff to Brown. He's going to test the left side. A flag, 2 flags come out. Brown scoots around the sidelines, but 2 flags in the backfield.
Yeah, Tim, that's going to be holding one more time against the Blount Leopards. One of the offensive linemen held one of the defensive linemen that was able to get upfield, actually had a chance at stopping the running back and keeping him from getting to the outside. Held him. Flag came down. That's going to be a 10-yard penalty marked off at the spot of the foul.
Let's head down to the sidelines with Al Wheaton.
On the offense.
Thank you, Tim. I'm standing right here with Mobile County Board of School Commissioners, Mr. Robert Battles, and also Assistant Vice Principal over at Blount. We have Tim Hill here. Mr. Battles, talk about what this game means to the community here in Prichard.
This is a quintessential rival between Blount and Vigor. It was a time that Blount didn't even play Vigor. But now it's a battle of Prichard, and I'm glad to be out here. I'm a Mobilian, but I come out here with Dr. Crenshaw tonight so that we can make sure that we see the difference between Blount and Vigor. We just support both teams because the quality of the education and the quality of the team is just good football for Prichard, Alabama, and Mobile.
We appreciate that. Now let's talk to Assistant Principal, Mr. Tim Hill. You work over at Blount. Talk about the mindset and the mentality and also just the environment and spirit right now at Blount.
Well, growing up in the city of Prichard, this game means everything. This game, normally around Halloween, but due to they had to move first game of the season, and it's just as big. It means we tailgate, we get together just because you have 2 different schools, city of Prichard, and we just separated by the track. So it means so much to the kids. The kids been riled up all week. They've been fired up all week. They've been making signs, posters. It's just that school spirit. I love to see it. That means kids are really enjoying being in school, getting the education and doing something. So
we appreciate that. We appreciate that. Guys, I'm telling you, the pregame festivities, the tailgating, if you've never been to a Vigor Blount game, you are missing out. If you can see the tents down here on the sideline, it is unreal. We're going to check in some more with some of the other officials and people throughout the community. This game means a lot. It's the Battle of PA, baby.
Battle of PA.
You're right about that, Al. We got to take a look at some of those pregame festivities as Pugh on a screenplay gets a great gain inside the 20-yard line, and that's going to get the Leopards closer into the red zone.
Yeah, that was Horn that came up and made a shoestring tackle on the ball carrier. Tim, that's going to bring up 4th down now for the Blount Leopards. And I believe they are going to attempt a field goal. So, the line of scrimmage. Okay, they've already put down the yard marker, so I can't really see where the line of scrimmage is. It looks like the line of scrimmage is right around about the 16-yard line, Tim. So that's going to be a 30-yard field goal attempt coming up here for the Blount Leopards.
Edwin Alvarado Amaya, the junior kicker, on for this one. Oh, and it's going to get blocked and picked up. Eric Feltz has it, and he's bringing it down the sideline. He's got Scott trying to pitch a block as Feltz continues down the sidelines and into the end zone. No flags, and the Vigor Wolves strike first.
74-yard return for a touchdown for the Vigor Wolves. What an awesome job of not only getting in and blocking the field goal attempt, Eric Feltz, but able to scoop it up on one hop. I can't wait to see this replay because 2 guys, Tim had an opportunity to block it. It was a very slow developing 30-yard attempt. 2 Vigor Wolves were able to come off the right side. One got his hand on the football as we take a look here.
Phelps able to just capitalize on it, and it was off to the races. Almost looked like he slowed down for a little bit.
Tim, if you take a look, he ran out of his shoe. He left his shoe right at the point where he picked up the football. His right shoe came off, and he was still able to run 76 yards for a touchdown for the Vigor Wolves. What a play.
The Vigor Wolves capitalizing off of their 4th turnover.
Wow.
2 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and now a blocked field goal attempt taking yard back for a touchdown.
You know, and it's been one of those types of games. You know, it's been a 0-0 game all night, and it kind of felt like the game was always in the balance. Both teams having touchdowns taken off the board because of penalties. You knew it was going to have to take something big for somebody to finally get on the scoreboard, and it did.
Charles Crawford on to kick the extra point. It's up and through the uprights. The Vigor Wolves capitalize off of a blocked field goal to take a 7-0 lead. You're watching the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week.
Alabama's first and largest school system, Mobile County Public Schools, prides itself on the high quality of education we provide our students.
We have been successful over the years in raising our graduation rates
and have been recognized nationally for closing achievement gaps.
We believe that our primary focus is to educate all students to become productive citizens. This is our commitment to them and to you.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain, Al Wheaton bringing you tonight's blockbuster rivalry matchup between the Vigor Wolves and the Blount Leopards. And I tell you what, right before halftime, the Vigor Wolves capitalizing off of their 4th turnover of the half. This time a blocked field goal attempt, and the junior cornerback Eric Phelps takes it all the way for a touchdown.
And I think that's going to give both teams an opportunity to settle down, okay? I think you're going to see better execution from both football teams as we get our kickoff here after the touchdown.
Horn boots this one back as Blount is bringing it up the field and down to about the 34-yard line. Jamarcus Poe-Malden on the return for the Leopards.
Yeah, you know, and I know that sounds strange, but that both teams settle down on the other teams, the opposite team score. But what that does is it just takes some of the anxiety out of the game, you know, because both teams are so hyped up. I got to score, I got to score, I got to score. Okay, now the score is finally on the board as we look at scores as they come in.
Saraland on top of Baker now 10-7 in second quarter action. Theodore on top of Northridge 7-0 in the second quarter. Davidson extending their lead 21-7 over Daphne on the road tonight. Mary G. Montgomery at halftime has a 7-0 lead as Collins Woods is all by himself. Earl Scott can only push him out of bounds on the play. Kadarius Toney with a huge strike to the junior receiver.
Busted coverage. That's all you can call it, Tim, on defense for the Vigor Wolves. Just a busted coverage. How do you let a wide receiver get that far behind you on defense? As we take a look here on the replay, nice job by Kadarius Toney. Gets flushed out of the pocket, but he does what good quarterbacks do. You continue to keep your eyes downfield. Threw up a bit of a punt right there. The receiver had to wait on it, was able to corral it, get out of bounds deep in the red zone for the Matty T. Blount Leopards, Tim. They're already knocking on the door.
Back into the red zone. The Leopards line up. 4 receivers, 2 to the right. Tony's going to take it himself. Test the left side of the field, being chased by defenders. Scoots back inside and into the end zone. No flags on the field, and the Blount Leopards are back into position to tie this ball game.
That's an 11-yard touchdown run into the end zone by Kadarius Toney. And like you said, Tim, more importantly, no flags on the field. It has been one of those games where runs into the end zone. Scores have been taken off the scoreboard because guys can't keep their hands off of themselves. If we take another look here, Kadarius Toney surveying, picked up a couple of nice blocks, able to make one guy miss, gets into the end zone, 11-yard touchdown, 7-6 is our score.
Blount on for the point after here. After the Kadarius Toney rush. Whoa, a late hit on that one, and the flag comes out. Alvarado Amaya got hit late on that kick.
Yeah, and you have to throw that penalty flag, Tim, because once the kicker goes through his kicking motion, he is very, very vulnerable to being hurt if he's hit. As we see, they're trying to get him up off the field, but he can't get up. And they're going to call the point after good, but after the kick, it's going to be a personal foul penalty, roughing the kicker, and that'll be assessed on the kickoff for the Vigor Wolves. So instead of kicking off, Tim, I believe from the 35, they're going to kick off from somewhere around about midfield once play resumes. But right now, the kicker for the Blount Leopards is being looked at by the staff.
Well, after a quick drive, we have a tie ball game on our hands, 7-7, just in time for halftime.
Two big plays. The block point after attempt all the way down 76 yards into the end zone for the Vigor Wolves gave them their 7-0 lead. Again, I talked about it. Blount was able to settle down, okay? They were able to put together two plays. It was a two-play drive, Tim, to get into the end zone for the Blount Leopards. Settled down, found the receiver deep, got into the red zone. Next thing you know, Kadarius Toney takes it on into the end zone. As we take a look here. Wow.
Yeah, the ball was definitely gone by then, and it was a late hit, no doubt. We hope that Edwin Alvarado Amaya is going to be all right.
Yeah, he's being helped off slowly tonight. Now, if he's their only kicker, Tim, that is going to severely change what the Blount Leopards do once they score. If there's nobody else out there that can kick a point after, you're going to be looking at 2-point conversion attempts for the rest of the evening for the Blount Leopards should they make it back into the end zone tonight. But as it goes, the kicker's point after was good, and our score is still 7-7, Tim.
He's one heck of a player. I tell you, Edwin Alvarado Amaya came on the scene last year for the Blount Leopards, a crucial piece for their historic run over there in 6A Region 1. We hope he's going to be able to get back into this game later on.
Yeah, he was limping pretty bad coming off the sideline. I'll continue to take a look at the sidelines and see what they do as far as working on him. But the longer he stays on the sideline and his body cools down, the more things are going to get tense. They're going to tighten up. So if it's some type of muscle injury, it's going to be very, very difficult, Tim, to get him back on the football field.
They're going to be lining to kick this one off after that penalty. Charles Crawford deep into the Vigor end zone.
I said the ball would be moved out to the 50-yard line. Actually, they're going to kick this ball off from the 45-yard line of Vigor. So this one may make the end zone here. And we're going to get a penalty flag for what I do not know.
Are they wearing the proper equipment? You never know.
The flag got picked up, luckily, because I'm trying to figure out. The ball hasn't even been whistled into play, and it was already a penalty flag on the field.
Well, they're just going to boot this one right down the middle. They were looking to maybe pitch to Crawford, but it's going to be brought up anyway and brought down at the 16-yard line.
Yeah, not really sure what was going on there, if they were, like you said, trying to fake a pitch to Crawford, or if he was just trying to use Crawford as a lead block. But as it goes, minimal gain on the return, but good field position nonetheless, Tim. The ball is outside the 20. No, I take that back. It's not. It's inside the 20-yard line, right at about the 18-yard line. Our score 7-7 here at Prichard Stadium.
Jackson trying to make something happen on that kick return, and just before halftime, a tie ball game, 7-7 here in the battle for Prichard between Blount and Vigor. Cam Williams back to work with the offensive unit of the Vigor Wolves. 4 receivers set, 2 to the right. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left here in our first half. Is going to be a handoff to Dale, and he's just going to continue to power his way up the middle and drag defenders with him, all 210 pounds of the junior running back.
Yeah, that was impressive. He carried Christopher McCants, and I believe also Cameron Bell along for the ride. As a running back, this is what you want to do, Tim. Look at his leg drive. His legs never stop moving.
Boom!
never stop moving. That is awesome. That is good coaching, and that's just good fundamentals there by the running back. Picked up an additional 5 yards after contact, Tim. Makes it second and about 3, which is manageable for the offense.
A big bruiser, and they're going to go back to Dale. He's going to test the left side. Oh, a flag comes out, and Scott and the rest of the defensive unit for the Leopards pile on.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a holding call against the offensive line for the Vigor Wolves, and that's going to be a spot foul. So that's going to mark the ball back 10 yards from that spot on the field. That's going to nullify that run there by the running back for the Vigor Wolves. Tough run, but a couple of guys on the outside were holding, and it was seen by the officials.
On offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, replay second down.
Penalties, and turnovers have defined the first half, but yet we still have a tie ball game.
Well, one thing I'm curious about, Tim, is I'm curious about what has happened with the humidity level out here since this game has started. Now, at the beginning of the game, it was 74%, which was actually kind of comfortable, but I think it's probably going up. Okay, we'll check that and see what's going on with that, because I'm sweating, and maybe a khaki suit really wasn't the right color to wear tonight.
It's all mental, man. It's all mental. Williams trying to scramble away from trouble, and Donadio Madison's going to come up with a sack in the backfield.
Yeah, that one's on Cam Williams. There was a busted play. He was trying to get something going on the right side, Tim. When there was nothing there, really the best thing to do, load up and throw the football out of bounds. Don't take that sack, which is going to push the ball all the way back inside the 10-yard line to about the 7-yard line if you're the Vigor Wolves.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a timeout from the Blount Leopards on this one. Third and extremely long, with the Vigor offensive unit pushed all the way back. LaFleur picking up a victory last night over Williamson. Saraland goes into halftime 10-7, a defensive battle over in West Mobile. Theodore on top of Northridge 7-0 in second quarter action. Davidson extending their lead 21-7 over Daphne in the first half. Mary G. Montgomery holds a 7-0 lead at halftime. You think so?
I kind of think so.
But we saw the MGM Vikings, and we'll see them next week in action in the game of the week. As we head down to the field to see Al Whedon.
Al Whedon.
Hey, guys, I'm back down here on the field with Vigor principal, Mr. Gerald Cunningham. Ms. Cunningham, talk about this rivalry and what it means to the kids and what it means to the Vigor Wolves.
Well, this rivalry has been going on for years. This is a rivalry of the city of Prichard that's probably the largest rivalry in Mobile County, probably in the state of Alabama. What it means to us is who owns the city of Prichard. It helps us to build our school, it helps us to build our community, and it sure helps us to build our program. And whatever happens with our program, we're in different areas. So it's 5A, 6A, but it's all about who owns the city of Prichard. And that's what we're going to claim tonight.
I heard that. Talk about the mindset going on at the school right now, the kids and the preparation for this week.
Well, what's happening with the kids, we've been doing a lot of things at school to hype the kids up, to get them to understand that we are truly the school that's spirit built. And they're beginning to see it. We had an awesome pep rally yesterday, 6 o'clock, invited a lot of the old alumni back, and the kids got an opportunity to actually see, wow, our alumni are still in love with our school. And so we want to feel that when we graduate, and that's what we want them to do.
Well, we appreciate everything you do, and much support to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Back up to you guys.
Another great punt by Horn is going to be returned, this time by McCants, bringing it all the way into near the red zone, right around that 25-yard marker.
Yeah, that was a nice return into plus territory for McCants. And that's going to set the offense for the Blount Leopards up nicely as we get deep into the second quarter here at Prichard Stadium. And like I said earlier, Tim, this rivalry is going to determine what color the fire hydrants are painted in this city. Are they going to be purple? Are they going to be green?
Well, there's still a whole second half to decide that one. It only took 2 plays for the Blount Leopards to get on the board in their last drive. They got a man in motion, and Pugh going to dish out to him on the right side. Has some blockers, going to drive up the sideline. Whoa, a flag comes out as he's chopped down from Charles Crawford.
That's going to be a holding call on the wide receiver that was blocking over here on the near side as Pugh turned the corner. We'll take a look here. Now watch Pugh as he goes around the corner. There's going to be a hold right there. See the jersey? Takes him to the ground. Flag comes out, and that's where the penalty is going to be marked off from that spot, 10 yards in the opposite direction.
During the play, holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, replay first down.
That's going to back the Leopards up even more, taking them all the way back to around the 30-yard line, so about a 5-yard difference from where they originally started. Liv Holly's unit is a high-powered, quick strike, fast-paced offense. 2 running backs in the backfield for the Leopards. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Out of the shotgun formation, man in motion. Tony drops back to pass, looks over to his left, finds Burrows across the middle, 2 defenders in the area, and still makes the completion on the play. No, it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, Burrows didn't quite look the ball all the way in, Tim. He did a nice job of getting both hands on the football, but he took his hands off of the ball, or took his eyes off of the ball, didn't look it all the way into his body. Ball fell down between his legs to the turf innocently. So instead of a nice pickup on first down, Tim, it's still going to be 2nd and about 15 for the Blount Leopards.
Bedway, the senior linebacker, was in the area. Whoa, ball on the ground. Tony has to pick it up. Throws a strike, and whoa, a little bit of a bobble there, and that's going to be another incomplete pass. He was looking for his senior tight end, Cameron Burrows, and same result, back-to-back plays.
Yeah, still having some trouble with the center quarterback exchange right now for the Blount Leopards. We've seen Kadarius Toney bobble the ball a couple of times. Again, the field conditions are a little moist. So the longer that football stays on the turf in contact with the ground, it's going to get a layer of moisture on it, and Kadarius Toney is having a problem getting in, Tim. And when that does, it throws off the entire timing of the play, and it's easy to see why some of these passes are going into the turf.
Well, the penalties continue to back them up as they start off now 3rd down, another shotgun formation, man in motion. Tony looking for a target in the area. The flag is out on the play. Throw across the middle, trying to make a connection to Collins Woods, and another incompletion, and there are 4 flags on the field.
And I think every official on the field threw their flag on that play. I even saw a guy trying to take a sock off to throw that on the play.
Well, I saw someone lose a helmet.
Yeah, and that's going to be the offense. That's going to be the personal foul penalty. That's going to be on the tackle who took the defensive end to the ground, used his jersey and his helmet to throw him to the ground, and that's what that one is going to be. Now, the other 2 on the other side, I'm not really sure what those are, but they're all going to get sorted out. But we do know at least one of those penalties is going to be a personal foul penalty against the Blount Leopards.
So many flags on the field here in the first
half. Boy,
half.
This game has been marred with them.
Illegal use of the hands on the offense. We have illegal participation. Sorry. Illegal participation on the defense. They were all set and replay the down, 3rd down.
Interesting.
4 flags leads to an offset.
Interesting. So illegal participation, I believe that means that there were too many guys on the field.
Oh, no. I'm going to say that the guy that lost his helmet continued to try to make a play.
Oh, yeah. You know what? And he actually did. He absolutely did. He tried to chase down Kadarius Toney. Good call. He did try to chase down Kadarius Toney after his helmet was taken off, and you're right. When that happens, that player is no longer eligible to be a participant in that play. So basically, he's out there taking a knee while the play is going on. Nice call.
I might have watched a game or 2.
Man, good job. Look, okay, if that's the case, find out the whole thing about the equipment thing.
I'm still stumped on that. I'm not quite sure on that one.
That one is going to haunt me all night.
We're going to get a call about that tomorrow. Tony drops back to pass, 3rd and long, pressure in his face. He's going to get wrapped up. No, pitches back to Pugh. Gets away from a couple of defenders and just swung around and finally brought down on the play, trying to come up and make a play for the Vigor Wolves over there. DeAnthony Walker coming over, the sophomore, just trying to drag him down. As we take a look right here, Tony just trying to get away from the pressure. Is able to have the mindset to pitch it back to Pugh, and Pugh just gets hawked down and spun around and dropped on the play. Coming up, DeAnthony Walker, the defensive end.
Oh, boy.
Making another defensive play for these Vigor Wolves.
Tim, that's such a dangerous play if you're Kadarius Toney. I know it looks good and, it looks Madden-like and all this kind of stuff, and the athleticism. The athleticism that's involved in a play like that is awesome. But, Tim, if he, by mistake, went to pitch the ball and it slipped out of his hands, that's a fumble. There was nothing between of Vigor Wolves scooping that up and taking that into the end zone and putting Vigor up going into the locker room. Just play it safe. Just tuck the ball under your arms and just go down and just say, you know what, the defense won that time.
Well, the Vigor Wolves have already forced 4 turnovers just in this first half.
Yeah, yep. And they were able to, and thankfully for the Blount Leopards, they were only able to capitalize on just one, and that was the block field goal attempt, which actually turned into a scoop and score for the Vigor Wolves, which gave them their early 7-0 lead.
Tie ball game here right before halftime. 4th down for the Blount Leopards. After that play, Tony lining up in the backfield with Pugh. He's got 3 receivers out to his left, 1 to his right. Shotgun formation, pressure in his face. Toss out to Jones. Jones gets a couple of blockers, scoots around the middle of the field, has an opening on the right side, and LeBaron Jones is into the end zone on the play. The junior receiver, a 25-yard pitch and catch, and the Leopards are back on top.
How in the world did that happen? With everything that was going on in that drive, as we look at Kadarius Toney finding his target, and everybody on defense just over-pursues, Tim. Everybody. Nobody maintains backside containment. The wide receiver is able to circle all the way from the left side of the field to the right side of the field, almost untouched into the end zone, and now that puts the Blount Leopards up 13-7 late in the second quarter. Now remember, their field goal kicker got injured. So here we are, 2-point conversion attempt coming up.
Tony's got a man in motion. You got a couple of guys in motion.
Yeah, and that's going to be false start against the offense. So this is going to cost this 2-point conversion.
False start, offense. Replay the down.
That's going to cost the offense 5 yards of field position on this 2-point conversion. So just like we alluded to earlier, nobody else on that team is able to kick field goals for the Blount Leopards. So 2-point conversions, more than likely the attempt for the rest of the ball game.
Collins Woods, the big receiver at the bottom of your screen. Tony, get pressure, looking around the right side, has a little bit of opening, makes a move on the inside and dives into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. And he's got his Leopards up 15-7 right before halftime.
Tim, does anybody who's ever seen this kid play, do you wonder why Florida wanted him? Look at this. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. But he's able to make something out of absolutely nothing. Gets into the end zone. 2-point conversion. 15-7 is the score here late in the second quarter at the Battle of Prichard here at Prichard Stadium.
Last year, the Blount Leopards won this game 13-7. It's starting to feel a lot like that. A little bit of rain in the early part of the day, a lot of penalties, a lot of turnovers, and we go into halftime 15-7. Scores around the Mobile area. LaFleur capturing a victory last night, 20-14. Saraland still on top of Baker, 10-7 at the half. Theodore on top of Northridge now 14-6 going into halftime. Davidson on top of Daphne, 21-7. And at halftime, the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings hold a 7-0 lead over the UMS Wright Bulldogs. A defensive battle on the road over there for Brian Seymour's Vikings.
Now, Tim, speaking of battle, now we've seen the Blount Leopard football team and the Vigor Wolf football team battle for 2 quarters so far, right? As a bird-sized cicada comes and hits me on the leg. Anyway.
They want to see the game, too?
They want to see the game, too. Another battle is about to take place here in a couple of minutes, and that's the Battle of the Bands.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you're not going to see a single fan.
Whoa, the ball is live on that one, and they're just rolling around trying to get on top of it. I believe Nigel Schamberger was able to finally get on top of the ball.
You're not going to see one single fan get up and go get refreshments because there is another game within the game that has to be won. Somebody has to be the top band tonight. Now, the Blount Leopard band is going to take the field first. The Vigor fans want to see what they've got. And conversely, on the other side, when the Vigor Wolf band takes the field, nobody on Blount's side is going to get up and leave because they want to see what Vigor got, and the fans are going to determine who won that battle tonight. Trust me, there are bragging rights on the field when it comes to football, but there are bragging rights also when it comes to the Battle of the Bands.
Well, there's a lot of young fans on both sides of the field tonight looking to see, do I want to play in the band or play on the field at that once I get to that level?
If you can't play football, get in the band. If anything, it gets you into the game free.
Or you could become a broadcaster.
That's kind of tough. That's
not
a
at
tough
Vigor. They have a new signature academy. WPN Wolfpack News.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That is cool.
We had a great broadcasting camp with them this summer.
That is cool.
Trained about 40 students, and they've got a whole studio set up in the campus, and it's a great thing to see. They're doing the news every day, and they're going to be broadcasting games just like us, even starting next week.
And you know, if you love sports, and if you're like me, you were just physically challenged. You couldn't play. In high school, Tim, I was like, 5'2", 115 pounds.
5'2" in high school?
5'2" in high school. I was a senior.
Wow.
I was a high school senior, 5'2", 115 pounds. There wasn't going to be any equipment that could have fit me. I was even too little to get a guy's water. Okay, so the best thing for me to do, if I can't play it, broadcast it.
There you go.
So for anybody who's too small to get out there and play, hey, come and find out how to get involved in this. And I'm telling you, let that love come through on the air by what you say about the game.
Karen Williams starting off just looking for a Hail Mary play, trying to get away from a couple of defenders. He's getting chased down, and he's just going to lob this one up there. A pile of players. Whoa! Takes a shot, and that's going to bring out a flag on the play all the way down to the 10-yard line.
And you really hate to see that, Tim. Oh, my gosh, and guys are celebrating. You really hate to see that, Tim, because that was a shot that shouldn't have even been taken. If you're the defensive back and that ball is a 50-50 ball, then go up and make a play on the football. As we take a look here, the defensive back didn't even look at the football and walks off of the play celebrating.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be that guy getting over to the sidelines. Lev Holly's going to give him an earful.
Well, I'm sure Lev Holly and the coaching staff is going to get into him, Tim. But I know it's a rivalry, but you have to think about player safety also.
Absolutely.
And that play right there was just really, really scary.
Well, that was quite an offensive play as the Vigor Wolves are now down into the red zone.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing in high school, and I wish that they would adopt it, just like they have, just like with the NFL rule, if that foul happens, they get the ball at the spot of the foul. In the high school game and the college game, that's only a 15-yard penalty. But gosh, I just really hate to see that. As you can see, he gets a running start and just lowers his head and shoulder right into the sternum of the player, gets between the player's helmet and his pads. Helmet comes off. Wow. And look, I'm just really glad that young man was able to get up and make it off of the field under his own power. But, man, that is just a shot that just should not have happened on that play.
The Wolves are going to get an opportunity now from the 45-yard line. The Leopards playing extremely deep on defense. Kadarius Toney's even in the secondary.
He's out there for speed, and he's deep.
Going to be anticipating another Hail Mary. Williams looking to get the call from the sidelines.
Tim, that's one ugly. Whoa! Look, man, I'm not scared of bugs. But when the bug is about the size of my fist, hey, Tim, could you kill that, please? We're in a timeout. Take off your jacket and kill it. Kill it, Tim, now.
The Vigor Wolves a new opportunity right here.
I sound like a punk on the air.
1st and 10 here. Williams drops back to pass, has some pressure from behind, being chased around. Lobs another one high up in the area for Smith. And it's going to get intercepted on the play by the Leopards, being dragged down. The pass was picked off in the secondary by the Leopards.
Yeah, it was number 24. I'm sorry, Tim. I'm trying to find him on the roster. That's who made the interception.
Kelsey Hill coming up with the play for the Leopards, and that's going to take us into halftime. The Blount Leopards with a 15-7 lead here in the battle for Prichard.
Exciting football game in the first half. Could have been even better if it wasn't for all the penalties and a lot of the chippiness that happened in the first half. But both fan bases should be pleased with what they saw on the field from both of these football teams. Hopefully the coaching staff can get into the locker room, coach these guys up, get them back on page with the right fundamentals, keeping your hands inside on guys when you're blocking them.
We're going to head down to the field. Al Whedon is with Vigor head coach Derek Scott.
Coach Scott, you told me before the game you guys wanted to cause turnovers, do fundamentally defense. You got the turnovers, not as many points, but you did capitalize on that blocked field goal there.
We did some of the things that we wanted to do. We always want to execute well. We still got a long way to go on from that standpoint. So we got some work to do, obviously, but I'm very proud of the defensive effort. Offensively, we're just stagnant right now. We got to get some things going.
I know we just had the DB take a hit there. How is he doing? Did you check him out?
Yeah, that's our wide receiver right there. A pretty good shot. It was the targeting. I kind of felt it was a little over the top, but hey.
All right, we wish you luck in the good second half, Coach.
Thank you much.
All right, back up to you guys.
Thanks, Al. I tell you what, preparation for the second half. I mean, 4 turnovers the Vigor defense was able to force Howard and the Blount Leopards, both teams battling a lot of penalties tonight.
Oh, yeah, and hopefully, like I said, in the second half, hopefully they'll get an opportunity to kind of get that cleaned up. And hopefully coming out in the second half, guys will play a little bit more fundamentally sound.
The Leopards are on top, 15-7. You're watching the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week.
It is an exciting time of change in the world of education, where technology is being used to engage our learners. And here in the Mobile County Public Schools, we're embracing those changes and moving forward into this new era of learning. It's our vision to be the premier educational system where students engage in multiple pathways, leading to success in a global society. Education for the future. It starts with us.
I have a lot of great memories from high school, some great experiences. Just being in the Shaw Band was a great experience. With the leadership in my schools, I always felt like they were very passionate about what they were doing. They cared about their calling to teach and to lead the schools. I always felt like they cared about me as a student and my classmates, and they wanted to see us do well and succeed. The relationships that were formed during those years are what impacted me the most. And I would just like to say thank you.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week. The Blount Leopards leading the Vigor Wolves 15-7 right now here live on Seymour. The battle for Prichard, Tim Finnegan, now joined by a very special guest, the City of Prichard's own Mr. Mayor, Troy Egram. How you doing tonight?
Doing great. Glad to be with you guys tonight. Thank the Mobile County Public School System for being right here in the heart, Prichard, Alabama, right here at Prichard Stadium, having an outstanding battle of Prichard between the Vigor Wolves and the Blount Leopards. All eyes on Prichard, Alabama tonight, and we couldn't have it any other way. Great night for high school football on the kickoff weekend. I'm ready. You can tell I'm ready for all of them now.
Oh, yeah.
So we're here and we're having a great time. So it's a great night to be in Prichard, Alabama.
Well, I'll tell you what, it feels like college football. A lot of college football stars have come out of this rivalry, out of this community. I tell you what, it's gotta feel great to look out at the crowd right now and you just see all of the people. I mean, standing room as far as the bleachers are filled up, and then you've got people all the way packing out both sidelines. It's got to be exciting for the city.
It's capacity tonight, and I think you've touched on it. You look at the great athletes that have come out of this rivalry. These are two tradition-rich programs, championship history, two storied programs right here in the state of Alabama. We call ourselves the City of Champions, and we coined that off of the fields of play from these two great tradition-rich programs, and it brings all of our cities together outside of Prichard as well that come to watch these kids play. You know, the roots of Prichard are not just in the city limits of Prichard. They're far and wide, and so everybody's just sort of like an athletic reunion of sorts for all of us to come out, celebrate this great culture, this great history that we have right here in Prichard, Alabama. And again, having all eyes right here on the Battle of Prichard. And this game counts. I think this is for all the marbles, and you can see it on the field tonight. These kids are playing their hearts out, and they want to win this game, and we can't wait for a great second half.
Well, it's been the first time in 3 seasons that the game's actually going to count on the schedule, but don't try telling a fan that it hasn't counted in the past 2 seasons.
It's counted. It's when these two teams come together, it's for all the marbles. It's for bragging rights all year long. and it means so much to them because these kids grow up. A lot of them went to same schools in elementary, middle school, and they find themselves neighbors across the street from each other, but they're going to different high schools. So this means a lot to them, but it also means a whole lot for all the people that are coming out tonight. This is important for our city. It's great, and this is going to be a great night before this game is over with.
Now, is there a particular sideline that you're rooting for? I mean, you're over here on the home side.
I actually took a neutral color tonight, mainly because you don't want to offend anybody. And you want to know, but look, we're proud of both of these great programs. The student athletes that are at these schools, the cheerleaders, the scholastic clubs, the ambassador programs. Both of these schools have some of the more of the phenomenal tradition-rich athletic programs as well as scholastic programs that you could possibly find in the Mobile County Public School System. We're very proud of what the school system is doing and how they're turning out great future leaders for our community, for our city. So we have it all right here in Prichard, Alabama.
Well, we thank you for joining us tonight. It's going to be a great event for the second half.
Go Wolves, go Leopards.
We're going to head down to the field with some action for the Battle of the Bands.
He's back there. He went to the truck to let y'all know.
You're watching halftime coverage of the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. The Blount Leopards on top of the Vigor Wolves 15-7. Welcome back to halftime coverage of the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week. The Blount Leopards leading the Vigor Wolves 15-7 as we head down to the field with the battle of the bands continuing with the Vigor Wolves. You're watching halftime coverage of the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week.
I have a lot of great memories from high school, some great experiences. Just being in the Shaw Band was a great experience. With the leadership in my schools, I always felt like they were very passionate about what they were doing. They cared about their calling to teach and to lead the schools. I always felt like they cared about me as a student and my classmates, and they wanted to see us do well and succeed. The relationships that were formed during those years are what impacted me the most, and I would just like to say thank you.
It is an exciting time of change in the world of education, where technology is being used to engage our learners. And here in the Mobile County Public Schools, we're embracing those changes and moving forward into this new era of learning. It's our vision to be the premier educational system where students engage in multiple pathways, leading to success in a global society. Education for the future. It starts with us.
Welcome back to halftime coverage of the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week between the Blount Leopards and the Vigor Wolves. The Leopards on top of the Wolves 15-7. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain, Al Wheaton bringing you tonight's blockbuster rivalry matchup. And I tell you what a first half, Howard. I mean, 15-7 right now. Blount's on top. Vigor forced 4 turnovers. How does that happen?
It's been everything you want in a rivalry game. I mean, there's been a lot of mistakes, but that's customary. That's supposed to happen because both teams are so hyped up, Tim. They want to win this football game, and they're willing to do anything they have to do, and that means holding a guy to keep it from tackling his own guy so he can get into the end zone. We saw a couple of scores being taken off of the scoreboard because of penalties. Hopefully these guys will be able to clean that up. But we saw Kadarius Toney come alive, Tim, once Vigor finally scored that 7 points after that 76-yard return on the blocked field goal attempt. So you saw Kadarius Toney calm down and do what he does, Tim, and that's move his football team down the field and score points. And that's how we're at 15-7.
Man, you got to be careful. I'm trying to wear the proper equipment. Look. Proper equipment, man. Come on now. No, I tell you, the biggest playmakers right now for the Blount Leopards has to be Cameron Burrows, just an electric weapon at the tight end position for the senior, for the Leopards offense. Cameron Burrows making plays left and right all in the first half. Most reliable target on the night for Kadarius Toney. On the other side of the field, it's got to be Eric Phelps, the junior cornerback, has the score for the Vigor Wolves right now. Forced 2 turnovers, the blocked field goal, and then on top of that, another interception to go along with Earl Scott's interception. So the very dangerous Wolves secondary is living up to the hype, but right now the offense needs to be able to capitalize on those turnovers that they're forcing.
Yeah, and they've got to try to take some shots downfield. We did see a couple of shots late in the second quarter. That's because guys were about to get ready to go into the half, and you want to try to see if you can put something on the board going into the locker room. But they have to run a more balanced attack, Tim. Right now they're running everything right up the middle, just a halfback dive to the left, halfback dive to the right, and that's not difficult to defend at all. So they're going to have to be a little bit more creative in their play calling duties and also a little bit more balanced. If they do that, I think the Vigor Wolves offense can do enough to get right back into the ball game, Tim. Still just 15-7. It's still anybody's ball game.
Well, it's going to set up for a huge second half. You heard the mayor how important it is to this community.
Yes.
I mean, it's a rivalry that you were born into. You're waiting to get into it, and we just can't wait to get back to it.
Absolutely.
15-7 is our score. The Blount Leopards on top of the Vigor Wolves. Will be right back with second half coverage coming your way here on the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week.
Hello, I'm Helena Tyler. I would like to invite you to join me for Inside Education. Come with us as we take a look at what's happening around Mobile County Public Schools, as well as what's happening in your child's classroom. That's Inside Education, right here on the MCPSS TV network.
Welcome back to second half coverage of the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week. Tim Finnegan, Howard McKay, Al Whedon bringing you tonight's blockbuster rivalry matchup and the battle for Prichard between the Blount Leopards and the Vigor Wolves. I tell you what, Howard McKay, a defensive battle filled with a lot of penalty flags. Teams have started to calm down. What do you think went on in the locker room at halftime?
Well, I don't think there was a whole lot of cursing, or at least I hope it wasn't. But I think guys got an opportunity to show them or tell them what they saw in the first half as far as tendencies. I think guys got a chance to get coached up. They got a chance to look at some things and being told some things that the coaches are able to see from the sideline that the players just aren't seeing during the course of the game. So what's going to happen is they're going to make some halftime adjustments, Tim, and I think the second half is going to be a lot cleaner.
You know who know about those adjustments?
Would it be Al Whedon?
It might be.
Let's check.
Al, what do you know about halftime adjustments?
Well, I talked with Coach Lev Holly, and he told me that they got to play more consistent and play more smart. He said if they did the things they were supposed to do, they would be up by a few more points. Right now, they had some missed opportunities. They got to capitalize on it. They got to keep the turnovers down. Also, I asked him how is the kicker doing. He said he's doing pretty good. We may or may not see him. He did do a little kicking on the side after halftime. But he said they got to play smart, and they got to play some blunt football, guys.
Well, Blount football starts the second half with a Trey Pugh kick return for a touchdown, extending the Leopards' lead. Wow.
Tim, I believe that kickoff return covered 79 yards. I will get that. I will get some clarity on that, but I want to say he fielded that thing somewhere around about the 21-yard line. But like I say, I will get clarity on that. But anyway, as it goes, huge way to start the second half for the Blount Leopards, Tim. They come out and hang another 6 on the board just like that, right out of the locker room. And wow, did that just pull all the air right out of the Vigor side of Prichard Stadium. Wow.
That must have been some halftime speech by Lev Holly.
I don't know if he fussed at him. I don't know if he cursed at him. I don't know if he offered him cash. I don't know what happened. But something good happened because, boy, they came out and executed to perfection on that kickoff return for a touchdown.
Edwin Alvarado Amaya back on the field. Great to see. And though his coaches think the same as he tacks on another one, extending the Leopards' lead 22-7. I'll tell you what, the Leopards coming out, if you want to send a statement, they were already a quick strike offense, scoring those 2 times in the first half. To turn around, come out, and special teams taking over, extending the lead now 22-7.
We're situated upstairs right next to the Vigor coaching staff, Tim. They didn't even have a chance to get settled back into their seats before they got up here and realized that their team was down by another touchdown. 22-7 is the score coming out of the halftime locker room, Tim. Just an impressive start for the Blount Leopards. Can Vigor keep it together, put together some plays, and get this ball downfield and hopefully into the end zone?
Well, we still got 2 quarters of action here in the battle for Prichard between Vigor and Blount for the Wolves to try to get back into this game. They're down 22-7 after a huge kickoff return from Trey Pugh, the junior running back for the Blount Leopards, all the way taking it the distance for the touchdown.
It was impressive. Nice job of setting up all of his blocks on the far side to get down the sideline and into the end zone for the Blount Leopards. Wow.
Blount ready to kick this one off. And I tell you, the Vigor Wolves just got to be itching at the opportunity to take one back themselves.
It's the most exciting play in football. And so many times you hear about it possibly being taken out of the game. Is it one of the most dangerous plays? Probably not any more dangerous than any other play in football. But, boy, I tell you, when it's executed to perfection, it is the most exciting play in football.
The Leopards are going to kick this one right down the middle. Oh, a live ball picked up by Charles Crawford of the Vigor Wolves trying to get around. Whoa, a little bit of a shot ripped down around the neckline on that one. No flags on the field. Crawford able to get back up, and the ball's going to be spotted around the 34-yard line. Man, he took a shot.
You know, Tim, guys are tackling really high. I don't know if you noticed that in this game. I'm pretty sure you did, but guys are tackling really, really high in this football game. Some of the fundamentals are kind of escaping guys somewhat, and I hope that kind of subsides and guys start to tackle correctly. But tackling kind of high in this football game.
Williams comes out, I formation. Dale, the running back in the backfield, goes right up the middle and is met immediately by this linebacker unit. Donadio Madison making a stop the defensive end.
Yeah, along with Terrell Scott. Nice job by Terrell Scott. Big running back. You know, when you chop down a tree, Tim, you don't start at the top, you start at the bottom, okay? Terrell Scott knifed in right under the running back, Tim, to get him down for about a 2-yard gain.
Second half scores Baker on top of Saraland 21-16. Theodore on top of Northridge 21-7. Davidson on top of Daphne 28-7 here in third quarter action. Mary G. Montgomery holding on to that 7-0 lead over UMS Wright as Dale runs out of bounds and for a first down for the Viger Wolves.
Yeah, Marcus Wiggins was able to get over and get up underneath the running back for the Viger Wolves. So far, all runs on this opening drive here for the Viger Wolves. Again, I'm curious to see, are they gonna start trying to mix it up right now, Tim? Everybody is in tight bunch formation. I mean, not a bunch formation, but more like a goal line formation. Obvious run.
Williams, another handoff. This time, going up the middle is going to be the new running back on the play, and David Tarvin. 5'10", 185.
Yeah, and check out those cleats. Those things stick out like a sore thumb.
Darvin continues to be the running back in the backfield. 2nd and 5 now as the Wolves cross midfield. Another carry on the play. And this time he's going to get met immediately and brought down by a pile of Leopard defenders.
Yeah, you don't want to see your running back, Tim, when he sees a hole that he stops his feet. You want your running back to catch, to take the handoff and flow, find the hole, hit it hard, Tim. If you get tackled, you get tackled. But don't stop moving your feet if you're the young running back for the Viger Wolves. You want him to see that hole, hit it hard, Tim, and hopefully bust a big one.
3rd and about 3 now. Williams under center continuing this rushing attack out of the I formation. The Viger Wolves on this offensive series. A toss out, going to test out the right side, and that's going to be enough for a first down as he's pushed out of bounds on the play.
Yeah, Adrian Law was able to push him out of bounds, Tim. Nice run there from the halfback position. That time did not stop his feet. Got all the way around the right end of the formation. Able to pick up enough yards, Tim. That moves the yardsticks over into plus territory now. Ball currently sits at the, well, they have not spotted it just yet. We have an official's timeout, I believe. But we do have a stoppage in play, Tim. Ball sits on the 42-yard line.
The Viger Wolves starting the rushing attack here in the second half, looking at getting a fresh set of downs, and they will. Trying to get back onto the scoreboard after surrendering the opening kick return for a touchdown to the Leopards.
Yeah, and this drive has looked good so far. So far, 0 negative plays for the Viger Wolves in this opening drive of the second half, Tim. Currently down 22-7. Ball game is still in doubt. Nobody's really taking control of it yet. You hang a touchdown on the board here, get a point after, you're only down by 1 score. So it is important for Vigor to get some points out of this drive. Even if they don't get a touchdown, Tim, you need at least a field goal. You need your guys feeling good about something right now on offense because so far your only score has been generated by your special teams. So it's up to Cam Williams and his offense to get this ball into the end zone.
Howard, we talked earlier about some of the mix-up that's been happening in the offseason, specifically with new regional opponents, talking about Citronelle moving from 6A down to 5A for that level of competition. It's going to be interesting. We talked about the race for 4th place here in 5A Region 1. What's going to be happening. So with Citronelle coming out, they had a victory last night, 35-0. A lot of momentum being built over there at Citronelle with Rusty Funk's program.
Yeah, and a lot of momentum is also going to be built as we get an offsides call here against the Blount Leopards, which is going to benefit the Viger Wolves. But Citronelle is also getting a new high school.
Encroachment on the defense. Replay first down.
They're also getting a new high school, so that is going to inject some new energy into not only the program, but also into the student body as well and into that community for them to drive through and see this brand new facility being built for their children.
1st and 5 after that penalty. Williams under center, I formation. They're bringing out the big boys. Dale back in the backfield at running back is going to get a handoff. Whoa, ripped down from behind by who else? Adrian Law.
Yeah, Adrian Law just did a nice job, Tim, of first of all penetrating through that B gap into the backfield. Instead of getting lost in the wash, he just fell down into the rushing lane, right into the running back.
In 6A Region 1 BC Rain, the Red Raiders on top of Chickasaw 35-0 last time we checked. Telestone's Red Raider unit moving up to 6A competition, going to be playing the Spanish Fort, Saralands, and these Blount Leopards. As Dale gets another carry, and talking about chopping down a tree, they went low on that one.
Yeah, and that was Kyle Case. I'm sorry, that was Kyle Cass that came in and made that stop, Tim. So far, you know, we talked about balance, right? We talked about play calling and balance for the Vigor Wolves. So far, we haven't seen that. Not one single pass has been attempted by the quarterback, Cam Williams, since they've come out of the halftime locker room. It's been everything from the running back position so far. And that's easy to defend if you're the Blount Leopards. Just crowd the line of scrimmage, throw more guys at them that they can block, and you can get the running back down.
Another toss play to Dale, testing the right side. That's going to be near the first down marker. Let's see where they spot it.
From here, and at our vantage point, it looks like he did pick up enough for the first down, and it looks like they haven't quite given a signal yet. And there it is from the referee. He gives a first down signal. So the sticks keep moving. It hasn't been very creative. It hasn't been very imaginative, but it has been effective. They've been able to string together plays, put together a methodical drive here on a very humid night all of a sudden here in Prichard, Alabama, keeping that defense out there and keeping them worn down.
David Tarvin back out at running back. David Tarvin and the glow-in-the-dark cleats over there.
They are, Tim, that's exactly what they are, man. You're so right.
Tarvin's going to get the carry. Whoa, finds some room up the middle, and Scott's there to meet him and stop him.
Oh, boy, I thought he was going to stick his cleat. I thought he was going to stick that highlighter cleat into the turf, bounce it to the outside to the left, and see if he could find that hole. Possibly could have gotten downfield for a bigger gain on that play, but as it is, nice gain on first down. Cuts the yards to go in half, Tim. Second down in about 5.
The Vigor Wolves certainly eating away at some clock right now. We're here in third quarter action. They're moving the ball. Lining up in the eye. It's going to be a toss play to Tarvin. Scouts some blockers. Whoa, evades some tackles. Driving forward, and that's going to be enough for a first down. The Vigor Wolves are in the red zone.
Tim, that was an awesome run. I mean, that was a very awesome, disciplined run from the running back there for the Vigor Wolves. As we take another look, Lorenzo Griggs finally brings him down, but look at his leg drive, Tim. They never stop.
Boom!
They never stop.
I'll tell you what, absorbing some punishment right there, and he just continues to fight his way through as it looks like a Leopard is down in the secondary. Looks like we're going to break for a timeout. No, they're trying to figure out what's going to happen on the field.
Well, it's such a humid night, Tim, that you knew eventually cramps were going to start to factor in, and I think that may be the case here in the secondary for the Wolves. For the Leopards.
Taking a look at the 5A preseason top 10 poll, the St. Paul Saints, would you guess otherwise? These guys are just looking for a three-peat at this point. They're the defending state champions in 5A. Jackson right up there, the Jackson Aggies. We were talking about them earlier. Terrific season last year. Not a lot of people talking about them, but they are a perennial playoff contender in this region. Looking over at 6A in the preseason top 10. Looking at Spanish Fort right now, they're losing to McGill. They have the Blount Leopards at number 3. These Blount Leopards, Saraland Spartans down at number 8. So 3 Mobile area teams in 6A top 10. And looking over at 7A, McGill Tulane, the defending 7A champions. They are on top of the Spanish Fort Toros at this point. Murphy with a 35-0 victory over Milton last year in the Panther Bowl. Milton Panthers taking on the Murphy Panthers. You think they playing that one out?
At the end of the night, a Panther will win.
Well, the Murphy Panthers have about 4 SEC prospects on that team, and we'll see them in action later on this season. But an impressive unit and a number of impressive teams last year from the Mobile area, 3 defending state champions. Vigor in the red zone at the 10-yard line. The I formation has been working, but this time a jump on the line, and that's going to be a false start.
Well, Vigor was just the recipient of an illegal substitution penalty on the Blount Leopards because...
Dead ball, false start, offense, replay first down.
Kelsey Hill went out of the secondary with cramps over to the sideline, and I'm not really sure what happened when they ran another player on. There was an illegal substitution. Well, then Vigor gives a 5 right back with a false start by the tight end.
Dale and Tarvin have been the running backs tonight. Dale is in the backfield, out of the I after that penalty. 1st and 10. Do it again from about the 15, and he's going to power his way through. Whoa, and rip down. The Leopards weren't going to let him get away on that one.
Yeah, that was Darrell Scott, and I believe that's Averell Winchester, who combined on the stop of the running back. Boy, it looked like it was going to be a rushing lane over there on the left side, but those two gentlemen from the Blount Leopards defense closed in quick. Shut it down, Tim. They absolutely shut it down.
Darrell Scott, 5'11", 225. Taking on Dale over there, 210 pounds. Just a power battle going. Cam Williams rolls out to the right side, not a handoff. Whoa, gets a low shot on the play. And a minimal gain, if anything. They weren't fooled one bit on defense.
Yeah, Christopher McCants was the first defender in on Cam Williams. Cam Williams was able to pick up a few yards, Tim. It's going to be 3rd down to about 5 here as we take a look. They just faked a pitch to the left side. Cam Williams was hoping that the backside of the defense was asleep. They were not. They were wide awake, as he found out. And, Tim, we're going to get a timeout taken on the field.
It's been a run, and run some more kind of second half opener for the Vigor Wolves on offense. The Blount Leopards getting rested on offense themselves. They've been playing a lot of defense here in the quarter. As we have scores coming through. LaFleur picking up their victory last night over Williamson. Baker on top of Saraland, 21-16 in third quarter action. A little bit of a low-scoring matchup. Theodore 21-6 over Northridge in the third quarter. Davidson on top of Daphne, 28-7 in third quarter action. Mary G. Montgomery leading UMS Wright 7-6 in fourth quarter action. A tight one over there.
And you're saying to you that's not a surprise.
It's not a surprise. You know, I picked the MGM Vikings the other day on our preseason show to win that matchup just because I really saw a completely different program out there this summer whenever we went around to do the team previews. And you just see that Brian Seymour in his second season, continuity is starting to put everything together. As we take a look at some of the upcoming games coming to you this season, here in the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week scheduled live here on Seymour. Those Vikings will be in action next week as we'll see them against the Theodore Bobcats. Then Theodore turns around. They're going to be taking on Baker. Leroy taking on Citronelle. Davidson and Theodore, and then BC Rain Williamson. I tell you, a number of great matchups. BC Rain Williamson, don't be surprised if that's a showdown. The Red Raiders taking on the Lions.
I'm looking forward to all of them.
Cameron Williams coming out. Whoa, he's going to keep it himself once again. Has some blockers on the left side and going to get ripped down by who else but Darrell Scott.
But what else? But what else is out there in the field, Tim, that's been out there all night long?
A flag.
Right around the 15-yard line, there was a flag behind the play. And based on where it was drawn, I believe that is going to be holding against the Vigor Wolves, who at one point were putting together a very impressive and methodical drive. Got inside the red zone, and things have just absolutely bogged down. They've hit a brick wall, and that brick wall has come in the form of the Vigor Wolves. They're actually doing this to themselves, self-inflicted wounds, Tim, and this one is going to be another self-inflicted wound on this drive as we get a call here from the referee.
Tim Dees has been busy tonight.
Very. He's going to be hoarse.
Holding on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Replay third down.
Another penalty is going to back up this offensive unit. They've been doing such a great job running. It might be time for a pass play.
Yeah. It would be nice. Right now on defense, the defensive set so far, they do have a single safety high. So they are guarding against any type of a deep ball. This is the first time in a formation I've actually seen a wide out that's on the field. He's down here to the near side at the bottom of your screen.
Isaac Smith lined up on the outside. Whoa. Cam Williams trying to get away from pressure, and Donadio Madison just eats him up in the backfield for another big sack.
That play was kind of doomed from the beginning. Just a lot of missed blocks. One guy was able to knife into the backfield and totally disrupt things, made Cam Williams stop his feet from moving, forced him back inside, Tim, and that's where Donadio was able to come in and just finish off the play, Tim. Just a very disjointed, just disjointed in the execution on that play.
22-7 is our score here in third quarter action. The Blount Leopards defending a 22-7 lead over the Vigor Wolves. Cam Williams comes out on fourth down, and that play is going to be blown dead.
Yep. Now, the shot clock, my gosh, I'm still in NBA mode.
There you go.
Now, the play clock, okay, the play clock I thought might have expired, but it didn't. It was a timeout, Tim, that was called by the Vigor Wolves. We also have a player down for the Blount Leopards, Tim.
That's Donadio Madison.
Yeah, and his mannerisms are on the field, I believe is going to be cramping. Again, the humidity at the beginning of this football game was somewhere about 74%. There's no doubt in my mind it's going up, Tim, since this game is going on.
Well, we'll be right back with third quarter action here on the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week. The Blount Leopards leading the Vigor Wolves 22-7.
I started off at Fondy Elementary, then I went to Azalea Middle School, and then Davidson High School for my high school years. The Mobile County Public School system prepared me for my career by showing me why it was so important to give back. I am involved with the Big Brother Big Sister program, and I've been paired with a young boy that was in the 3rd grade and is now finishing up the 4th grade, and it gives me an opportunity to give back and help mentor him.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week. Tim Finnegan, Al Whedon, Howard McCain bringing you the battle for Prichard. The Blount Leopards leading the Vigor Wolves 22-7 right now, as it looks like Vigor is set to punt this one away here on 4th and extremely long. Horn receiving the ball and is going to punt a low one towards the end zone, and they're just going to let it roll, and that's going to be a touchback. We're going to head down to the field now with Al Whedon. Al, what do you have for us?
Well, it's the battle of Prichard, and it's Vigor versus Blount and the Wolves versus the Leopards. But you guys know, but a lot of people may not know, Coach Lev Howley, Coach Derek Scott, both coached together at Vigor over the years. So they've been in this matchup before. But for Coach Howley, he's won 6 in a row, Tim, and he wants to keep that winning streak going. Right now they're up 22-7. They just got the ball back. And Coach Howley told me earlier, if we can play Blount football, I can stay undefeated in the Battle of Prichard.
Tony comes out, and he's going to try to get away from a couple of defenders, and they're going to get him in the backfield. And that's going to be a loss of about 2 yards. He was trying to scramble away right there.
I'm not a fan of that play, Tim. I'm just not a fan of that play.
There's been a lot of rushing here in the third quarter.
Well, I'm not a fan of that play because Kadarius Toney is your best player. If you want to run those type of plays where you just take a guy and you slam him into the line of scrimmage, you do that with a running back, okay? You don't do that with your prized possession on offense, Tim. You just don't do that. Scores.
A final scoreboard, the MGM Vikings have beat the UMS Wright Bulldogs 7-6.
Good call.
What a big victory for Brian Seymour's Vikings.
You called it.
A change at quarterback right now. Trey Pugh in the backfield, and flags go flying.
Oh, boy, it's starting to get ugly again. That's either a false start or an illegal substitution by the Blount Leopards. Here's the call.
Dead ball, substitution infraction against the offense. Replay second down.
You would almost rather they just run the play with 10 guys on the field and whatever happens, happens. But it's been like that all night long, these illegal substitution penalties, and they've just been drive killers. for both teams. Luckily for Blount, though, they're up by a score of 22-7.
And it looks like they got Tony back on the field. They're mixing it up. No, Trey Pugh in the backfield. And he's going to get eaten up in the backfield. Marshall Harris leading the attack for the Vigor defense, and that's going to stuff them all the way back near the goal line.
And see, like I said, when you have these penalties and things like that, Tim, it just takes the whole flow of the offense away. You know, it's start, stop, start, 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 stop, start, stop, start. You just can't get any continuity going in the offense, and this is the kind of stuff that happens. Guys break down on their blocking assignments, and you end up getting a loss on the play.
And it looks like they're going to take another timeout. The Blount Leopards leading the Vigor Wolves 22-7. What happened to Kadarius Toney? Right now they've been going with the running back wildcat formation out there on offense for Blount, trying to figure out what happened on that play. But nonetheless, they're defending 22-7 right now.
Well, the previous play that Kadarius Toney was in on, Tim, he got tackled down by about 4 different guys. We don't know what kind of business they gave him under the pile. We've all heard the stories of all the stuff that goes on in piles, right? You've heard some of the horror stories, right?
Maybe.
So
is that in the same region with the proper equipment?
Yeah, the proper equipment.
Is that a proper equipment story?
Man, some guys will take their fists and punch guys. Some guys will take their ankle and try to twist it. Anything to kind of, give you the business under the pile. When Kadarius Toney got up out of the pile, he came up limping. We don't know what happened. So now he's on the sideline. He's not out there with his offense. And let me take another look before I go ahead and leave him on the sideline. I do not see him coming out with the offense, Tim. So something is amiss with Kadarius Toney because right now he is not in the game.
Well, they have to mix it up. Jacoby Davis is actually one of the quarterbacks on the team. And it looks like they're going to go in that direction as Pugh splits out as a wide receiver now.
Tim, I've taken a glance over at the Blount sideline as I believe we're going to get yet another penalty flag, Tim, dropped over here on the near side. Kadarius Toney is on the training table, and they're somewhere doing something around his lower leg area.
Dead ball.
I don't know what it is, but right now he is currently on the trainer's table.
Half the distance, replay third down.
Jacoby Davis is the new quarterback for the Leopards, deep in their own end zone. I mean, they are right on that 1 yard line. Third and extremely long. Davis lined up deep in the end zone with his running back, McCants. Takes the snap, pressure from all around, just going to lob it up. Whoa, coverage all around and almost intercepted. Whoa, did he hang on to it? Charles Crawford coming away with a play on third and extremely long. Let's take a look right here. Davis was looking long, fired a nice spiral out there, and there to hawk it down was Charles Crawford. Able to keep his arm underneath it.
Tim, I would never tell a football player to go on the field and not make a play. I'd never tell a football player to do that. Blount is backed up so close to their goal line on third down. More than likely, if they don't convert on third down, Tim, they're going to punt. If that ball falls to the ground on that play instead of being intercepted, they got to punt out their own end zone. There's a possibility you get a block or get very good field position. I would almost wish he would have just dropped it.
Cameron Williams comes out here on offense, gives it to Dale, and he just, whoa, takes a shot as he gets about a 6 yard gain and crosses midfield, but he was shot out of a cannon right up the middle on that play.
Yeah, and the Blount tackler is still down on the field. That was Trajan Pugh, I believe. It looked like number 6.
Keelan Kennedy.
I'm sorry, Keelan Kennedy.
Comes up limping after that play.
Well, he got stepped on is what happened. Somebody stepped on his thigh. He was laying on the ground at the bottom of the pile, and as guys were coming in to finish off the tackle, somebody stepped on his thigh. So he more than likely, maybe at the least, he may have a thigh contusion. But depending on what type of cleats those guys have on, Tim, ouch.
Schamberger and Crawford out on the left side. Smith on the right. Williams has Dale in motion in the backfield. Out of the pistol, hands off to his running back and goes nowhere. Cut down quick on that play.
Yeah, that was Jacoby Davis. Just nice job by Jacoby. Filling the hole, Tim, getting underneath the running back taking his legs out, Tim, and he did not pick up enough for the first down on second down. So it is going to be third down and about 2 for the Vigor Wolves here in the third quarter.
Third down and short as they cross over midfield. The Vigor Wolves looking to bring out some more weapons on offense, trying to make a conversion here in third quarter action. They're down 22-7.
The play clock is at 6, Tim. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. They just barely got that thing off.
Well, the defense didn't think they did as they come up with a big stop right there on that first down marker line.
Yeah, that may have been about a half-yard gain on third down. So it's going to bring up fourth and about a yard for the Vigor Wolves, and they were flirting with a 5-yard delay of game penalty. Ball snapped right with 1 second left on the play clock.
David Tarvin out there at running back. They're switching out some personnel. Nigel Schamberger coming off the field. 4th and short now. This is a big play right here for momentum for the Vigor Wolves.
Well, they have about 9 seconds to get this ball snapped.
Lining up in the I formation, their favorite play of the quarter. Coming now, the handoff to Tarvin right up the middle. He's going to have enough and then some. That's going to be a first down for the Vigor Wolves.
Yeah, that's a good job by your offensive line, the guys in the trenches, Tim, of opening up a hole on the left side of the formation, and an even better job by the running back to get in there, get his head down, get into the line of scrimmage, and make that play from the running back position.
David Tarvin coming up with another great play for the Wolves there. He's back in the backfield. Fresh set of downs for the Wolves. Whoa, and a jump right there, and that's going to bring out a flag.
Oh, boy, you're kidding me. That has to drive the coach and staff nuts. I mean, absolutely nuts.
False start, offense. Replay first down.
You would have thought that guys would have settled down and the penalties would have decreased as the football game goes on. We've seen them be steady. From first quarter to the second quarter to now the third quarter, the penalty markers have just been steady in this football game.
1st and 15 now around the 50-yard line. The referees continue to blow the play dead.
Oh, boy. I don't know how many people who are watching this broadcast were at the football game last night.
We're going to take a break. The Blount Leopards leading the Vigor Wolves 22-7. You're watching the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week.
The Environmental Studies Center is a natural sciences education facility designed to provide unique learning experiences. In addition, wildlife rehabilitation plays a vital role each day at the center. Featuring more than 500 acres of rich woodlands, the center affords teachers, students, and the general public an opportunity to experience firsthand the natural environment. Environmental Studies Center. It starts with us in the Mobile County Public Schools.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week between Vigor and Blount. A high pass from senior quarterback Cam Williams draws another flag right around that 45-yard line.
Now, if that's right around the line of scrimmage, that's going to be holding, but the line of scrimmage actually is right around about the 49-yard line of the Leopards. It's going to be an illegal man downfield. Somebody from the line of scrimmage released downfield. Now, I'm not 100% sure. Is it 1 yard or 3 yards?
It's too many yards.
According to the officials, it was too many yards. But
eligible receiver downfield on the offense. That penalty is declined. We'll play second down.
But unless it's a run play, the offensive line cannot release upfield to block. They have to stay near the line of scrimmage. Somebody did not do that.
Second and long now. Williams in the backfield. Empty backfield. Pressure in his face. Gets it out to Schamberger, and the connection is going to draw a flag. A late hit potential in the backfield on that last play.
And that's going to tack on 15 yards on the end of the play. So that's going to go from about an 8-yard pickup on, I believe that was second down, to a potential first down once we get the call from the referee that it's going to be a personal foul, late hit on the quarterback, 15-yard penalty.
Well, that's one way to get offense.
Roughing the passer. The penalty happened during complete pass. We'll tag it on to the end of the run, 15 yards, first down.
Hey, that's instant offense. There's nothing like a penalty to either give you instant offense or instant defense.
Well, it's an interesting theme here in this quarter. You know, they're
It's
flip-flopping.
been weird.
Well, in fourth quarter action now, but in the third quarter it was run, run, run. Now they're looking to pass a little bit more.
You got five wide receivers, yeah.
5 receiver spread, empty backfield. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Williams is going to take it himself. Pressure in his face. He had no choice on that one, but he gets up the sidelines, tight ropes, and into the end zone.
Tim, that is a
Cameron Williams coming up, and he had one earlier get called back, but not that one. He comes up limping, but he comes back with a touchdown. A 27-yard rushing touchdown for the senior as we look at him just kind of tightrope the sidelines right there, and that was enough to get the senior in the end zone.
Tim, I thought he stepped out of bounds. Man, oh man, that was so close. If he stayed in bounds over here on the near side, it was by millimeters, not by centimeters, not by inches. Nice job of walking the tightrope over here on the near side. 27 yards, touchdown.
Eric Feltz on to kick the point after. Williams with the hold. The kick is up. And it is good. And the Vigor Wolves are back in it.
New ball game.
Down now 22-14 in fourth quarter action thanks to Cam Williams' 27-yard rushing touchdown.
You know, Cam Williams and the offense did something that you see a lot on other levels of the of play. They just simply spread the field, Tim, found a rushing lane, got into the end zone.
I'll tell you, talk about him tight roping just by a couple of inches here and there. If you want to talk about numbers, let's head down to the field and hit some numbers with Mr. Al Wheaton.
Well, Tim, I didn't get ready to hit the numbers, but I do want to let you know, had a chance to talk to one of the Blount trainers, Kadarius Toney. He did take that hit. Did kind of spark a cramp. It is very humid down here, so as the night goes on, the humidity is getting thicker and thicker, so I was told we should see Toney later. And also with that tiptoe run by Williams, I was right here on the sideline, and guys, he was almost out, but he kept the feet in. Come back to me in a second, and we'll hit the numbers.
As we take a look right here, just look at how close that was.
Woo!
Woo! I'll tell you what.
If he wore a size 13 instead of a size 12, he would have been marked out right there at about the 13-yard line.
He knew where he was. I tell you, great awareness for the senior quarterback on that play, and he gets his team back on the board and that much closer to getting back into the ball game here in the fourth quarter.
Just got to play defense. Go out there, play defense. See if you can get these guys to turn the ball back over. According to Al, we will see the quarterback, Kadarius Toney, back on the field.
Horn boots it all the way down to the 5-yard line. Pugh brings it out. 2 flags as there was a scuffle, and he's going to be brought down inside the 5-yard line. Another flag.
Wow.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but hey, the flags are flying, and the Vigor Wolves defense is back on the field, hungry for another turnover. They already have 5 on the night.
I hope somebody on the officials has spray and wash or shout or something like that to get the turf stains out of these flags, because they have been on the field a lot. So I feel sorry for the guy that has to take those things home tonight and wash them, because he's going to be scrubbing stains out of those handkerchiefs all night long. Poor guy.
Man, I thought another flag was thrown out on the field. It was just a football. Golly, I'll tell you what.
I think there may be a ghost in the scoreboard. Something weird.
Whoa, we got some big scores right now. Big scores right now. Man, they're just mixing it up. Are they bringing back old scores?
We got some weird stuff going on with the scoreboard right now. It is, and now they've totally reset it. So
they said they want to start a new ball game.
Let's start.
Well, the real score is 22-14. Blount on top of Vigor here in fourth quarter action as the scoreboard. I tell you, the ghost of legends past taking over the scoreboard right now.
Hey, you think it might be that leprechaun?
Probably not.
Okay. Different time of the year?
It's fall, man.
Okay.
It's fall.
Okay. It's some kind of ghost. It's some kind of ghost in the machine right now. Wow.
Legendary Prichard Stadium and the legends of Vigor Blount taking over.
Yeah, we won't be using that probably for the rest of the game, Tim. So we'll be keeping score and time ourselves because that thing is going haywire.
22-14 is the score here in fourth quarter action. The Blount Leopards have Kadarius Toney back on the field now. The Vigor Wolves have forced 5 turnovers tonight. They trail 22-14.
The officials haven't put the ball back into play yet, Tim, because they were trying to see if whatever malfunction is happening with the clock that they were going to be able to fix it. So they just signaled to the press box to just kill the stadium clock, and I think they're going to keep time on the field. So we'll do our best to try to keep time along with them. But as of right now, the stadium clock, the stadium scoreboard is just out of play. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with the play clock, if it's malfunctioning or not, though.
Toney comes out. A quick strike is going to get met. No, spun away. Trey Pugh got away from Charles Crawford. He had him on the 2-yard line.
Yes, he did, and that would have been a big-time loss, but he was able to spin out of it, and he was finally brought down by Jared Mosley. Nice gain, though, on the pass and catch, Tim. About 7 yards, so it's going to bring up now 2nd down and 3 for the Lions.
Coming out now, 2nd down. Trey Pugh in motion for the Leopards. Going to be a handoff to McCants. He's going to just run right through and meets Charles Crawford after he picks up a fresh set of downs.
Let me tell you something. Charles Crawford is a football player. He is not afraid to take on anybody on that field. Came in, stuck his nose deep into the running back for the Blount Leopards and got him down. Unfortunately, it was after enough was picked up, Tim, for another 1st down.
He's the epitome of actions speak louder than his words. You meet him, off the field. Nice kid. Real quiet. Real quiet.
Yep. And your dad always told you, son, watch out for that kind of guy.
Uh-oh. Well, he's been a danger for the Blount Leopards tonight with that vaunted secondary. Oh, a turnover on the play. The Vigor Wolves, a 6th turnover. The Wolves are getting richer and Prichard tonight.
Oh, man. What a play by Jared Mosley as we take a look here. An exchange, just a bobble on the exchange. Ball was on the turf. Nobody could get it. Jared Mosley was able to get in deep into the red zone of the Blount Leopards, Tim. They take over 1st and 10. Ball at the 15-yard line. Remember, they're only down by 1 possession. 22-14 is our current score. Vigor about to take over.
What a huge play. We've talked about this defensive unit. If there's an MVP award, it's the entire defensive unit.
Yes.
6 forced turnovers tonight, and this Vigor crowd has exploded.
And, Tim, on paper, when you hear a team forcing 6 turnovers, they don't lose the ball game. They win. So the turnover battle definitely has been won by the Vigor Wolves, but can they make them pay with points?
5 receiver set.
You got to take a shot in the end zone.
Well, a flag comes out in the end zone.
And it's on Vigor. Oh, gosh. Wow. See, that takes away some of the momentum from the turnover. If you're on offense, if you're the offensive coordinator for the Vigor Wolves, you spread them out, Tim, and you take a shot in the end zone on that very first play. Right now, the other team is feeling slightly demoralized. You want to catch them sleeping, try to go up over the top of them, Tim, and take a shot into the end zone. 5 wide receiver set.
1st and 15 after that penalty. Snap to Williams, rolls out to the left side, pressure in his face. Another flag comes out on the field as they were unable to tackle him. He's going to get some of those penalty yards back, but a flag came flying out from the secondary.
Yeah, they tried to run the exact same play that they ran earlier when Cam Williams was able to get around the left side and tiptoe down the sideline and get into the end zone. They tried to come with a 5 wide receiver set, spread the defense out, and find a rushing lane.
Only the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, replay 1st down.
But instead of doing that, Tim, they had a holding call as we look at Cam Williams here, finally tackled down on the play. But They're moving in the wrong direction. Remember, they covered the fumble up at the 15-yard line. Now they've been backed up all the way to the 35-yard line. 20 yards of real estate has been lost in penalties.
5-receiver spread, empty backfield, shotgun formation. First and extremely long for the Wolves. Cameron Williams pressure in his face and ripped down in the backfield. A sack from Adrian Law.
It just wasn't anything there. The offensive line failed Cam Williams miserably. There was at least 3 different guys in the backfield that could have come up with that sack. Instead, somebody had to have it. Look at that. That's called a jailbreak right there. When you have that many guys on the run at once, that's called a jailbreak. Anybody could have made that sack that time on Cam Williams.
9 minutes left in the battle for Prichard between Blount and Vigor. The Wolves defending a 22-14 lead right now. Cam Williams, empty backfield, looking over to his left. Gets it out to Schamberger. Has some blockers. Whoa! Takes a shot low. Continues to fight forward, and Donadio Madison puts him away as another flag comes out on the play.
Boy, what is going on? You know what I think? Just don't even put the flags back in your pocket. Just leave them on the field. And as soon as something happens in an area, just kick the flag over there to it.
I'd be interested to find out if there's more flags tonight than a total score of both teams. I bet you it would be close.
During the play, personal foul, face mask on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Replay second down.
Okay, so that one does not carry an automatic first down. So that's the good news for the Blount Leopards. But the bad news is each team just continues to just shoot themselves in the foot with penalties.
Well, the Vigor Wolves get some kind of offense on that play. Second and about 17 right now. Williams running right up the middle. Takes it himself around the sideline, stays on his feet, keeps his balance, and he is inside the 15-yard line. How about Cam Williams?
Now, he was able to make something out of nothing on that run, Tim. So what he was able to do is he was able to get the ball back deep into the red zone. He was able to knock it down to about now is it going to be third down or fourth down?
It's going to be about third down.
Okay, so the ball is back to the original line of scrimmage where they got the fumble at the 15-yard line. So it's going to be third down and 10 yards to go.
3rd and 10, 5 receivers set. Williams looking over to his right. Whoa, the ball comes out and is picked up by Donadio Madison.
Where do you see this play on the replay?
What a play.
This is ridiculous. This is crazy.
Williams was going to throw it, and Madison just comes and scoops it up. Here we go. He throws it, comes out of his hand, and Madison caught the pass.
That is nuts.
And creates a huge turnover for this Leopards defense.
So that doesn't go down as a fumble. It goes down as an interception is what it goes down in the stat sheet as. Are you serious?
There's a reason why Donadio Madison was named the top defensive lineman in the Mobile area last year. Golly, what a talent.
I get the feeling, Tim. Now, you say you believe that the number of penalty yards in this game is going to...
No, the number of flags that have been thrown, I would be interested just to see if it would
be more than
the total score of both teams. It just feels that way.
Okay. I will be interested to know if the total, I'll tell you after the scores come in.
The BC Rain Red Raiders start off 41-0. Saraland late on top of Baker, 24-21. Theodore on top of Northridge, 30-6 in the fourth quarter. Davidson on top of Daphne, 35-14. And MGM coming away with a huge victory on the road against UMS Wright, 7-6. Kadarius Toney with the quarterback keeper, going to go right up the middle. No one's going to be able to catch him. 30, 25, 20, and he's just going to scoot on in for a huge touchdown. Woo! That is going to be a 74-yard run by the senior quarterback.
Good God Almighty. Not Al Almighty, but good God Almighty. What an incredible run by Kadarius Toney. As we take a look here, it's just a simple, he simply faked it to the running back and just found a seam. And just took that seam all the way into the end zone for a 74-yard touchdown run. and has pushed this lead up to 28 to 14.
What a huge play by the senior quarterback. He left the game, came back in, put his Leopards back on top. The field goal is actually good. A low one. Looked like some contact was made, but the Blount Leopards, another huge play, capitalizing. Here in fourth quarter action, you're watching the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week.
I have a lot of great memories from high school, some great experiences. Just being in the Shaw Band was a great experience. With the leadership in my schools, I always felt like they were very passionate about what they were doing. They cared about their calling to teach and to lead the schools. I always felt like they cared about me as a student and my classmates, and they wanted to see us do well and succeed. The relationships that were formed during those years are what impacted me the most. And I would just like to say thank you.
It is an exciting time of change in the world of education, where technology is being used to engage our learners. And here in the Mobile County Public Schools, we're embracing those changes and moving forward into this new era of learning. It's our vision to be the premier educational system where students engage in multiple pathways, leading to success in a global society. Education for the future. It starts with us.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week. Vigor breaking away on the kickoff return and hawked down inside the 20-yard line, but a huge return from this Wolves special teams unit. We're going to take a look at the replay coming out of that one, Howard. Oh, my gosh, you talk about huge momentum. Kadarius Toney had scored a 70-yard rushing touchdown, but right here, Jackson coming up the field for the Vigor Wolves, able to get away from a couple of defenders, but then finally brought down back into the red zone. It's been a back-and-forth battle.
Vigor has to capitalize, though, Tim. They can't get penalties and shoot themselves in the foot. First play from scrimmage, go up top into the end zone.
29-14 is our current score. The Blount Leopards defending their lead right here in the red zone. Pressure immediately. Williams rolling out to the right as blockers, gets up the field and is going to get about a 6-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, and we have a player, well, we had a player down for Blount, but he's back up. Looks like he may have twisted an ankle or it might be cramps. But Cam Williams wants to go up top with the football, Tim. His offensive line is not giving him enough time to survey the field and throw a timing route to any of his wide receivers. The guys in the trenches have to give him some time.
5 receivers set. They've been going with this formation for a while here in the second half. 2 receivers to the right. Williams looking that way. Gets it out to Crawford. Whoa, takes a shot from behind. Hung him up on that one. What a hit. He's able to get back up. And an incomplete pass there on second down.
Yeah, that hit came courtesy. I believe it was Jalen Whitsitt that came in and put a huge hit on the wide receiver. And, Tim, a lot of times in football, that's called hanging your wide receiver out to dry. When you put him in an awkward position to catch the football where he can get blown up like that, that is not good.
Williams back out here, looking over to the right. Oh, a strike, and it's going to be a touchdown. Williams connecting with Smith on the play. It looked like it was going to be a close one. Didn't know if Jacoby Davis, who was the defender in the area, was able to break that one up, but Smith able to hook it in on the play for the score.
12-yard touchdown pass from Cam Williams to his wide receiver. Just a quick slant inside, Tim. The defensive back actually had perfect position to knock the football down. He wasn't able to do it. The wide receiver was able to corral it into the end zone, and that's huge. When you get a big play like that on the return, you have to make the other team pay with points. That time, Vigor did.
Williams comes out here in a bunch formation, rolling out to his right side, looking for a target, lobs it up way high. Whoa! And going to be an incomplete pass on the 2-point conversion attempt. Well, our score is 29-20 after that Vigor Wolves score. Talk about numbers. It might be time to hit some numbers here in fourth quarter action. Mr. Al Whedon, what do you got for us?
Yeah, guys, it's time to hit the numbers. Tim, I know you've been waiting for it all year. I decided to keep it simple for you. You know it takes 2 teams to play football, so the number for tonight is 2. Let's start off with the sheer dominance of these 2 high schools, Blount and Vigor. Crosstown rivals. They've combined for 8 state football championships. Guys, that is more than any other Mobile County public school and private school combined. Now let's talk about the 2 head coaches, Lev Holly, Derek Scott. They're both entering their 2nd seasons coaching at Blount and Vigor. Speaking of coaches, Blount and Vigor, they've won their state championships with 2 different coaches. For Blount, it was Ben Harris and Cornelius Brown. For Vigor, it was Harold Clark and Kerry Stevenson. Unfortunately, 2 of those coaches are no longer with us, Coach Brown and Coach Clark. All right, guys, let's bring it on home and focus back on the game since it can now be counted in the record books. You know, for the past 2 years, this game didn't count. Down on the sideline, hitting the numbers.
I'll tell you what, it's one of the most anticipated segments in all of high school football broadcasts. I tell you what, Al Whedon, he does a superb job.
2 is the number.
Wow.
You remember that from, come on, you remember that from Sesame Street, right, Al? Al remembers that. There are two teams playing through 9. I had to get it in. Al, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to step on you like that, bro.
Well, both of these coaching staffs very familiar with each other, and, I mean, the intensity all throughout the night, as we've seen around the Mobile area. BC reigned 41-0 over Chickasaw. Saraland ends up beating Baker 24-21. Theodore on top of Northridge 30-6. Davidson beating Daphne, a comeback though, 35-28. And Mary G. Montgomery with the biggest victory of the night on the road against UMS Wright.
Impressive.
7-6. We're going to see those Vikings in action next week at the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week. The MGM Vikings taking on the Theodore Bobcats live on Seymour.
Looks like they weren't able to get the situation with the clock fixed, Tim. It's still all over the place. So we can't let everybody at home know how much time is left in the football game. We do know it's under 9 minutes currently, but we'll try to get that across to everybody else.
Horn's going to boot this one away. It's a live ball, and they're just going to fall on it there at the 27-yard line. Blount with a 29-20 lead right now, so 2 scores are going to have to come into play if the Vigor Wolves want to get back into position to try to win this game.
Yeah, again, I'm not sure how much time is left, but based on that, that's going to determine how Vigor plays defense, Tim. They've got to start to play with a greater sense of urgency because right now they're down by 2 scores. They're not down by 1 score, which is a score plus a 2-point conversion. They're down by 9 points. So they've got to put together 2 drives and get 2 scores to either get to get back on top in this football game. So based on how much time is remaining, that's going to determine how they play defense here on out.
Tony comes out in the shotgun formation, not looking to run the ball right now. Or will they? And they do. They hand off to Pugh right up the middle. Oh, a little bit of a fight on the outside over there. Collins Wood and Eric Phelps getting a little bit of a scuffle right there. That's why they call it a rivalry.
Now, Frederick Austin makes the stop. And if you're Blount, this is exactly what you want to do late in the ball game. Run the ball, keep the clock rolling, force the other team to use one of their most valuable commodities, and that's their timeouts. So right now you want to keep the ball on the ground if you're Kadarius Toney and the Leopards.
2nd down and about 7. A toss out on the left side and going to get some contact, evading a couple of tacklers. Whoa, and hit right at the line for that first down marker. Coming up to lay a hit was Petway, the senior linebacker. Wow.
Yeah, but if you're the wide receiver, you got to stay in bounds, brother. You have to stay in bounds. He was not able to pick up enough for the first down, Tim, over on the far side. But more important for Vigor, that stops the clock. It stops the clock, and it also gives him an opportunity to possibly stop them on 3rd down and get the ball right back into the hands of your offense. If you're that young wide receiver, you have to stay in bounds.
3rd and short, shotgun formation. Tony's going to take it himself. Last time he did this, he scored. Has some blockers on the right side, and he's going to try to do the same as he slips down at the 50-yard line.
He didn't slip down, Tim. He went down in bounds on purpose. That is a veteran football player doing what needs to be done to get his team a victory. He did not want to go out of bounds after getting the first down and stop the clock. Once they reset the sticks and the referee whistles the ball back in play, the clock starts back up. That is just smart.
Final scores tonight, Saraland defeating Baker 24-21. Theodore defeating Northridge 33-7. We'll see the Bobcats next week. Davidson defeating Daphne 35-28. MGM defeating UMS 7-6. Well, the ball's on the ground. The Vigor Wolves say that they have another one. It would be their 7th.
That's going to be covered up by the Leopards. But boy, oh boy, what an opportunity to really flip momentum in this ball game into the favor of the Wolves if they were able to come up with that errant quarterback center exchange once again between Tony and his center. But thankfully for the Leopards, they were able to pounce on the football, Tim. As we take a look here, Kadarius Toney, even though the ball hits the ground, he's still trying to make a play. At this point, Tim, it's just no use. Cover the football up, maintain possession for your football team, and get out of risking injury. Thankfully, they were able to get the football back.
Second and long after that scuffle on the last play here at fourth quarter action. Two receivers to the left, one to the right, and it's just going to be a simple handoff to Brown on this play, and the Vigor defense is going to drop them right around the 42-yard line.
Now, I'm not entirely sure how many timeouts Vigor has, but we're starting to get to the point where they may want to try to spin one depending on how many they have left in this ball game. It's third down and long. The ball is whistled back into play, so the clock has started again. We're currently without a clock. We have approximately 3 minutes remaining in the ball game, so 3 minutes left in the football game.
3 minutes left, third and long now for the Leopards. Tony takes the snap, looking left, dishes it out to his running back. McCants on the play, and he's going to get wrestled down near the 45-yard line.
McCants was able to stay in bounds, so the clock does continue to roll. It's going to be fourth down and about 13 yards to go. So it looks like the Vigor Wolves are going to spend one of their timeouts here, Tim, and try to save some time for the offense. And I'm more than certain that Blount is going to do the smart thing, and they're going to punt this football away, and they're going to play defense. Currently up right now by 2 scores. Your score 29-20. Leopards over the Wolves.
Yeah, but the Blount Leopards haven't punted all night. I mean, if you want to count Jacoby Davis's interception. But that's pretty much been it.
One thing, well, they look like they are going to go in punt formation. Now, you can either do one of two things. You can stick a guy back there and make it look like he's going to punt, and he can take it, he can throw it into the air as high as he can and make it look like a punt, and just maybe a Vigor Wolf will try to field it and you tackle him down. You could do something like that.
Well, the ever-electric Charles Crawford back out at the 30-yard line along with Jackson. Two great return men back there. The Leopards lining up for a punt. Right around the 46-yard line. Less than 3 minutes left in the game. Trying to change out some personnel.
He's got to field this cleanly if he's going to get it away.
Takes the snap, pressure in his face. A low kick is going to go out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
So with that punt, and it wasn't a very good one, but it was effective. It doesn't always have to be good to be effective. He did put the ball out of plus territory for the Vigor Wolves into minus territory, their own side of the 50-yard line, and they're going to start this opening drive, well, this drive late in the fourth quarter, Tim, somewhere around their own 26-yard line. So good job. It was an ugly punt, but it was effective.
29-20. The Blount Leopards on top of the Vigor Wolves. Vigor in position now. They need 2 scores. Fans are sticking around. They still believe. But they've got to work quickly.
They have to work quickly, Tim, which means they're going to have to come out in maybe some 3, 4, maybe 5 receiver sets. They've got to move the ball downfield quickly. Guys have got to try to get out of bounds. So let's see what Cam Williams can do with this offense.
Empty backfield. Changing around some personnel. 5 receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. The Vigor Wolves have to work quickly. A fake to Charles Crawford.
Oh, boy.
And Cam Williams is just going to go down in the backfield. They sniff that one out quick.
Yeah, that right there is not going to help your offense. If you're the Vigor Wolves, tremendous job of getting to the backfield and being disruptive was, I believe that was Jabrick Montgomery, the 6'3", 240-pound defensive end for the Blount Leopards, man. Just a nice play. Just a nice play.
6'3", 240 coming at you.
Oh, man, that's good size.
Ouch. Second and long now.
A lot of standing around, Tim. I think this is because of the officials. And we are going to get a timeout, Vigor.
Timeout from Vigor. The Blount Leopards leading 29-20 here in fourth quarter action. It's winding down here at Prichard Stadium for the battle for Prichard. The annual rivalry matchup between the Wolves and Leopards. Vigor trying to get 2 scores and get back into scoring position.
Yeah, as we take a look around the stadium on both sides, about half the crowd still here. Blount, the Blount crowd, they're accepting victory. And looks like some of the Vigor crowd is starting to accept defeat. Some of them are starting to foul out of the stadium. We are pretty late in the ball game. 29-20 is your score, as you see at the bottom of the screen. So it's a 2-possession or 2-score lead right now for the Blount Leopards. Behind the offensive prowess of Kadarius Toney. Now, this kid is everything that he was advertised. I believe he's improved since last year, based on what I've seen so far, considering the fact we did this same game at the same time last year. He doesn't quite have the weapons on the outside that he had last year. He does have a very nice tight end to get the ball to Burrows, and he did that quite often tonight.
Williams connects with Smith on the outside. He stays in bounds, so the clock's going to continue to run on an upcoming 3rd and about 7.
Yeah, you know, the entire field now is 4-down territory for the Vigor Wolves, so if they don't pick up a single yard or enough yards here on 3rd down for a 1st down, they will go for it on 4th. Here's Cam Williams.
Empty backfield, 3rd and about 7. Williams looking to his right, lobs it over to Smith once again. Gets some blocks, trying to fight his way and stretch forward towards that 1st down marker as he stays in bounds.
Nice effort, but I think it's going to come up just shy of the 1st down marker, maybe by about a yard or a half a yard, I think. I haven't seen him move. Okay, they're moving the yardstick now, Tim. They switch it over to no, they gave him a 1st down.
Wow.
Okay.
Smith was able to stretch out on that play in order to get the 1st down. Smith with great size at 6'2", 175.
I'm sorry, I thought it was a little bit short.
The Wolves continuing out of the shotgun. Williams is going to take it himself, trying to scramble away right up the middle, stays in bounds and gets hit near the 1st down marker.
Yeah, clock continues to roll. More than likely by now, we're somewhere down around maybe a minute, maybe less in the ball game. Ball has been spotted. It's been whistled back into place, so the clock does start. 2nd down and about short. 2nd down to about a yard and a half now for Cam Williams.
Williams, another quarterback keeper, is going to try to find the sidelines. Whoa, gets hit and taken down. Scott finishes him off near the sidelines after he picks up a 1st down.
Clock does stop to move the yard marker. Again, once it's set into play, the clock will be whistled to start. And we'll tick closer and closer to the end of this ball game, and quite possibly closer and closer to a Blount Leopard victory.
Well, the Vigor Wolves continue to battle out here at the end of the game. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Fresh set of downs after the Cam Williams conversion. Takes the ball, lobs it up there. Single coverage on the outside, looking for Schamberger, and it's going to be intercepted, accompanied by a flag.
Yeah, Marcus Wiggins was able to cut underneath the route and come up with the interception. There was some hand fighting as the ball was in the air, so I'm not sure if this is going to be offensive or defensive pass interference. Right now, it could be either one as we take a look. Big, long looping pass downfield by Cam Williams.
In the air.
And again, Wiggins does come down with the football. The flag is already on the ground.
Well, the way things are looking, Vigor's offense is still on the field.
And it looks like, well, no, it looks like this is going to probably go, is going to go against Blount. So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Pass interference on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
Well, here's another look right here, Tim. Now, the pass interference must have happened earlier in the route, because I didn't quite see anything right there towards the end of the interception. But as it goes, Vigor football, 1st and 10 at the Leopard 37.
Williams takes it, gets up the field with Smith, and out of bounds. Smalley, whoa, takes out somebody. He gets a first down on the play.
Hey, man, listen, if you're down on that field, your head better be on a swivel at all times, because you don't know when or if you'll get hit with friendly fire. Hopefully, whomever that was that got clipped over there will be okay. I'm not sure if it was somebody. I'm not sure if it's a member of the coaching staff or just a bystander.
We hope they're all right. They're getting the players, moving them on to the side of the field.
Yeah, whomever it is, they're still down, Tim. Woo! I'm just thankful it wasn't Al. I'm glad it wasn't Al Whedon. If that would have been Al Whedon, I would have had to come get somebody. Tim, I think that's the end of the ball game.
They're going to call it after that. The Blount Leopards, back-to-back victories. This time it counts towards the record book. But the Blount Leopards coming away with a big victory tonight, 29-20. In the battle for Prichard, I tell you what, just a big game as far as penalties, turnovers. The Vigor Wolves forced 6 turnovers.
And they were able to even get out of here with a victory after turning the ball over 6 times. Most of the times when you see a stat like that on the stat sheet, Tim, the team that created 6 turnovers wins. Tonight, that wasn't the case. 29-20 is your final score. And let's be honest, not a very well-played football game execution-wise. So Vigor gets out of here with it's not an embarrassing loss. They hung in there, but it's a loss nonetheless. So looks like all the fire hydrants in the city are going to be painted purple.
Well, thanks to Kadarius Toney, he had the big 74-yard rushing touchdown. Then he had another strike. LeBaron Jones across the middle got another scoring touchdown. So he went out of the game at one point, able to come back in, make a difference for his team. And that's why he's such a big, valuable piece for Lev Holly in that Blount Leopards offense.
Yes, sir. You have to do a better job of keeping him healthy, okay? You can't go slamming him into the line of scrimmage and expect him to walk out of there not limping at all.
Speaking of Lev Holly, let's head down to the field with our own Al Whedon standing by with the Blount head coach.
We're here with winning head coach Lev Holly. Coach, talk about this game tonight. 7 turnovers, you still come out on top. Hard-fought game.
Thankful for the win. I think both teams played hard. You can tell that, first game jitters. But I'm proud of my team. They fought really hard. Had some key guys get out and catch a few cramps from the heat. But I'll take that. We'll go back, we'll condition. But, that's a hell of a program right there. Coach Scott and those guys, they do a great job. And I learned a lot of football from Coach Scott. But it's like, again, these kids go to church together. They friends. But at the end of the day, we'll hold bragging rights for the next year. So I'm very thankful for that.
Absolutely. Talk about you giving congratulations and hugging the coaches over there. You used to coach with a lot of those guys. What does that mean to you?
I did. It's just a game, man. Somebody had to win. Somebody had to lose. But when you look at it, I mean, it's football. And when it's all said and done, man, we just going to give praises. And like I say, those guys, man, they are great coaches, and win on the scoreboard, lose on the scoreboard. But I still think, at the end of the day, I think it's one of those things that we just have to continue just to gel. We got some work to do as coaches, and we'll come back in and we'll get it done.
7-0 in the Blount Vigor matchup. How does it feel to you?
Oh, it feels great. It feels great.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Blount winning tonight. Coach Lev Holly 7-0 in the Blount versus Vigor matchup. Who knows what will happen next year? Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Al. I tell you what, just a lot of class from Lev Holly, a lot of class from all the participants in this game. And I tell you what, a great rivalry matchup for the community. The Blount Leopards come away with a 29-20 victory. Big plays from Kadarius Toney, 2 touchdowns. Eric Phelps, definitely the defensive MVP for the Vigor Wolves. The blocked field goal return for a touchdown and the interception. You got to be excited for both of these playoff perennial contenders.
Yeah, you have to give a hats off to the whole Vigor defense. Fought as hard as they could. Just wasn't enough on offense tonight.
We want to thank all our great staff here at Mobile County Public Schools. For Al Whedon, Howard McCain, I'm Tim Finnegan. Tune in next week for MGM and Theodore here in the Mobile County Public School High School Football Game of the Week.